I'm ready to go. It'll be good.
Alright, welcome friends to the game Skyfall 5th Edition. Today we have the group Lucky Bastards who are trying to get to a star off in the distance. In your last session, you had managed to find a crypt that was locked underneath this temple that you had just so recently cleared out of demonic spawn, and there was a bit of a complication. A magical book was found underneath in this crypt, one that had a promise of great power, and it took a lot of restraint, argument, and a few fumbles as well to keep a certain elf from taking the book, despite the, let's just say, issues that his party sort of had with him taking the item. At the end of it, you finally managed to destroy this quote-unquote evil book and sent it back to the hell from whence it came and traveled across the snowy plains towards the town of Sove. You've been there for less than a day, have purchased rooms in a local inn, and have also gone off to purchase a couple of goods from a local general store. So, we rejoin the story with all of you grabbing your supplies and then going to sleep for the evening. And it's the next day, so everyone's had a long rest. Go ahead and update your sheets for that. You've all made your way out of your rooms, unless you have business in them that you want to take care of beforehand, and made it into the main central room of the tavern. You can see a few people who are sitting about, eating their food, and all of you guys make your way towards a table over in the corner. What do you want to do?
How much is a meal? I think you said it was like so many copper or something.
Yeah, it's not too much. It appears that here, I think it was just 5 copper pieces.
5 copper.
Yeah, so go
All
ahead
right.
and subtract
I'll pay for a meal.
I'll do the same.
Yeah.
We're going to eat as well before we head out.
There we go. So you're staying at an inn called the Farmer's Respite. It's a really simple little inn. It's a fairly large one, but there's not very many people who are in here right now early in the morning. And the food is cheap, and the rooms are pretty cheap as well. The owner seems to be a woman in her 40s over behind the bar, and she's just kind of cleaning up shop while you guys are seated here. What do you guys want to do?
So, how long till we get to that place you wanted to go?
Hmm?
You know, where the star?
The star only points, it does not give a distance.
I'm just gonna walk in this direction forever.
So, do you know where we're going?
No, but the gods will lead us.
I don't suppose the gods would let us continue along a road instead of wandering off through the wilderness.
There's no reason we can't follow the road. Yes, the star points to the northwest, but we can cut across to Vigny and then up to Arbison. If it brings us back to the east, then we'll head towards the wilderness. It does appear that the star points more west than north at the moment, however.
Well, do we have any other business in town, or should we head to our next destination?
I believe it's in the best interest of the party to move with great haste.
Darren, do you have any business in town before we head out this morning?
I just want to make sure I'm warm. Real quick.
Well, the tavern that you're in is indeed warm, and a fire burns off in the corner. And outside, beyond the windows, you can see that the snowy climate has seemed to lessen a little bit, though winter is still around you, and but you can see a little bit of snow that falls here and there. It's actually kind of a clear day, and the sort of scouring and whipping winds have died down considerably.
Can I call the barmaid over?
Sure. Yeah, the owner steps away from the bar for a second, comes over towards you, and she says, oh, what can I get for you? Some more food?
Just a simple question. What day is it and what season?
It's winter.
Quite astute,
I
Judaran.
gathered as much.
You find out that the day is the 19th.
The
She
19th.
tells you. And then she looks out the window and says, of spring.
Oh. Wait.
Well,
Wait a minute.
Aaron, quite the observation.
It
Wait a
was winter
second.
when we went to bed. I say this out loud. It was winter when we went to bed.
It's still winter if you look out the window by your observations. You understand winter doesn't just mean snow, correct?
The woman who's come over to the table politely bows herself out of the conversation and just walks away while you guys are arguing.
Well, Dude Aaron would know this maybe, but I sure don't.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, does it normally snow in the middle of spring?
Interesting. So you know that when the seasons change, sometimes there's a couple of days where the season will linger. So,
But the 19th?
Yeah, this is far. This is abnormal, incredibly abnormal. It would be weird to see any snow past maybe the 10th.
We need to start asking what day it is every time we wake up. Just so we can get a calendar here.
That's like a thing every group says to themselves, and then nobody does it. Start keeping
Perhaps
track
that
of
would be
time.
a good idea. Well, today's the 19th of spring. God knows when we got out of that puzzle box. God knows when we entered the temple. However, I think we should press forward before we lose any more time.
Are we going to need to get Judaran some winter clothing? I'm quite
I
confused
took
with
care of
these
that.
seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say table talk. Didn't he buy that last
Oh,
time?
okay,
Or
yeah,
Yeah,
last
just
week?
at the
Yeah,
end
I'm
of
good.
last session.
Yeah, okay.
Spent most of my month.
No more mun.
Some month.
Adios, man.
Spent all of his schmeckles.
Well, Dude Aaron will quickly scarf down the rest of his food.
Yeah, so let's actually make use of this good weather. Much better than our previous traveling conditions.
Indeed. Seems fair for today, but who knows how long that will last.
Okay. So seated here in the tavern, you take a moment to finish up your food. Stew is warm and tastes fairly good for a meal that was only a few copper pieces. It's definitely nice to get something fresh prepared after so many days out in the wilderness. The rest of the day lies ahead of you. You've woken up early and can see, now that it's fairly clear skies, that the sun is off in the distance and most of your hours are still intact. What's the plan?
Vigny.
Vigny. Okay. The group goes to leave the town. I'd like everybody to please roll a perception check. Whoa.
Yep.
5, a 3. Can you guys?
That's-
Oh,
Eight.
No, it's cool. I got it. I got a
No,
20,
yeah,
I
it's a
think.
5.
Yeah, I got 20.
got a
18.
20. So anybody who got a 15 or higher, please roll an insight check.
My insight.
It's not great.
Oh, that's a 9.
18.
Okay. As you step out of the tavern, you can see that there's a few people who are out and about. Somebody has a broom over in front of their abode as they sweep away some remnants of snow from the night before. A little carriage moves down through the cobblestone street. However, off in the distance, atop a house with a
Mm,
wooden roof,
mm.
sits a raven, which
Where
is
is it looking?
completely alone, that's staring up and down the street, cocking its head on occasion.
Are there
And
side streets?
two of you see this, being Zai and Meneltirn, but Meneltirn, when you see it, you get a bad feeling about the bird. It's probably about a block away.
Are there side streets?
You get the feeling that it hasn't noticed you yet. And yes, indeed, there are side streets here in this town.
I immediately push everybody down a side street.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa! What are you doing? I was looking at that nice bird.
That bird, as I think we all know, is Theo, or at least one of his
Really?
servants. Yes, Dudarin. We need to stay out of its sight.
Perhaps Dudarin should go look at it with his
Why?
newfound
No.
sight.
It's not like we
Perhaps-
did anything to piss off this Theo.
You not remember?
Remember what?
Just not right now, Zai. Let's get out of the town, then you can explain it to him. Yes? Okay. So, taking side streets and avoiding where that bird was, make
Okay.
our way to out of town.
Okay. So you're navigating for the group. So Meneltirn, if you could, please roll for me a second time. And this time is perception once again.
Goddamn bird moving on me. 19.
Okay. The town of Sauv here is fairly small. It's not a particularly large or well-developed village. It doesn't even really have a wall around it. No palisade, nothing. Just a bunch of houses clustered together with a couple of buildings to sell items and provide what little industry the town has. As you go to escape, you notice flying overhead that the raven makes its way over the little side street that you're in, but you don't know if it sees you. It's clear that it's moving around.
Okay. So, just being extra careful, peeking out behind buildings and such before, crossing streets and whatnot.
Okay. So
Have
your
that
eye
be
is
our kind
fairly
of
good.
course or action.
You're able to kind of pinpoint where the raven moves to as you go, and you actually see more than one, which is concerning, but eventually lead yourselves outside of town, and thankfully there's no gate to restrict where you have to exit. You leave in a silly little obtuse area that goes out into a little farmland that stretches out, and finally escape from town unseen.
Mm-hmm. And we all have hoods, right?
You
So
do.
I would presume all of those are up.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we make our way to Vigny. And when we get there, unless we absolutely have to, as far as like rations or something, I'm gonna direct the group around the city entirely.
Okay.
I'd also like to check the
Ration pool.
stars tonight.
Ah.
I trust you,
Okay.
Darren. That he's got a good hold on that. How many do we have, by the way?
71.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
As we leave the town, I will ask Zai and Melchior, what did we do to Theo?
Okay. Zai, explain. I have no patience right now.
Well, long story short, our friend Meneltirn here destroyed something that Theo lent to
Saved
us.
your lives.
So I think he's trying to find us to collect his debt.
What was it? Couldn't be that important, could it?
The gem.
Might have been important.
Do you remember, Dudarin?
To Darren?
The Sovereign Stone.
Oh yeah, you did have a thing on the end of your quarterstaff, didn't you?
Hmm. Indeed.
Shouldn't have done that.
Right. I was only saving your lives, of course, but that's neither here nor there, I presume.
Yes, so it seems that this Theo is going to be following us until we're able to repay this debt.
Well, why don't we just repay it?
it
Seems
is
like the easier thing to
likely
do.
a debt that we cannot repay at this moment. Additionally, I'm unaware of the climate of things around us, not the weather climate, as I just realized that likely confused your very small brains. But there were things that he was asking for us last time we saw him. I'm afraid what could have developed while we were gone.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yes. Seems we've been making quite a mess of things as of late.
So I'm just trying to decide, like, because I want Dude Aaron's memory to be like really broken. So like I'm trying to think if he would remember bits and pieces, but not just what we did wrong.
Some dice rolls or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea.
Int check.
I'm good at that.
Got all that smarts. Ooh, so smart.
It's a 6. It's not exactly
Nah.
flattering.
That's a 5.
Gotcha.
No, Dude Aaron's not gonna remember none of that.
Okay.
Darren pauses for a second and drool runs down his face. Ooh, we should bottle that and sell it. The
Snake oil.
Darren brand.
Anyway, let's not dwell on my memory loss. I just started marching in the direction.
And then I go, wrong way, Darren, it's that way, and point in the correct direction.
I make a wide turn.
Okay, let's roll some dice then. Okay. Travel towards Vigny is uninterrupted, and you manage to actually make pretty good time. The roads, though snowed in, are only slightly so, and you manage to get to Vigny in about 5 days. Roughly what you would expect just on like a normal travel for this road.
Mm-hmm. Considering we made, and the star while we were traveling.
Yes. So go ahead and make that intelligence check you so often make. Skies are clear, and if you can read them properly, there'll be something to get.
We're down to 63 rations.
That's 5 plus 15 plus 3, 18.
The prophecy has changed radically, and in its place,
Wait.
a new one can be seen. There's still a direction star that points off in the same direction. However, you see what looks to be a descending staircase that winds down, and standing on this staircase at the forefront is a somewhat regal and kingly figure, being followed by the 3 disciples that you had seen before.
Is that it?
Indeed, yes. So they're traveling down a staircase, and you can't see what's down at the bottom. There's nothing there.
Okay. So wait, it's a downward staircase.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody knows that means fun.
Right.
So we're at 51 rations. I forgot how to do math a minute.
We're still fine. And when we're like upon Vigny, basically, which direction is the star pointing?
Star points off in the northwest once again, but considerably more north.
Okay.
How big of a city is Vigny?
Vigny is a little bit larger than Sov, probably about twice its size. It looks like maybe 8,000 people live here, and a lot of the buildings, which are wooden in make, much like the other ones, and in the same style, also have stone fixings to them. So they're partially stone and partially wood. They're a lot better made. The center of town has what appears to be a large castle, which flies blue banners above it, and there's plenty of farms, though frozen in, which sort of spread out from the town. There's no walls, much like Sov.
I'm sorry, just one more question. There's
Yeah,
no
please.
longer anything about a war between the gods or anything like that.
No, all of that is
Okay.
perished.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. So unless anybody has objections, Meneltier is gonna direct everyone to the
Are you
northern
gonna let us
road.
know about the change in the stars?
Yep. Every day in the morning, the
Um,
star points this way, that way, this way, that way.
since Metal Tier has informed me of the ill will coming our way, I'm gonna keep every time we're in town. I'm gonna like try and keep an eye out for stuff.
Sure. Okay.
Nope.
With a roll like that, you ain't.
So, as you guys make your way towards Vigny, you can see it off in the distance. But if I remember correctly, you said you didn't want to go into the town. You just want to skirt around it?
Correct.
Okay,
Avoid it entirely.
gotcha. Okay, so the group will avoid the town altogether, and then you're just going to continue traveling towards the star.
Correct.
So where are you going next, then? Mostly
Arbison.
north.
Right, Arbison.
Arbison, okay.
What's the biggest city in like Freehold and Roshire?
Ah. It is common knowledge to any who have lived here, which those would be. You wouldn't know Zai, but Dudairn, who has lived in Skyfall's whole life, no, he's from a simple town, so he wouldn't know either.
I'm from Novaria, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
the only
We-
person who
okay.
might have some knowledge would possibly be Meneltier, if you can make an intelligence check for me.
I mean
No
we've
thing.
been to most of them, haven't we?
You've been to quite a few, yeah. So you've seen a lot of them, though most of them
Mike-
were just pit stops on a long journey.
19.
Okay. So you know that the capital of Roche is Andwal. It's down towards the south and is the largest city in the region. And for Freehold, the largest city is Everwatch, which is over way towards the west.
Okay. Alright, so when we're traveling, I'll probably just casually discuss with Metal Tyrion about what the dreams might be.
Okay.
What dreams?
Or, sorry, dreams. The stars are
prophet-
saying, what the prophecy is saying. So, Metal Tyrion, it seems that it had a king and some kind of staircase, you said.
That is correct.
Perhaps we're meant to go to one of the larger cities.
And how did you draw that?
Well,
Exactly.
not much else seems to make much sense, but the largest cities seem to be the ones with rulers, and if there was a king in the prophecy,
Yes, but perhaps the kingly regal figure is Dudarin. I look back towards Dudarin, assuming he's doing something
I'm-
with his hyper intelligence.
I'm cleaning earwax.
Jesus.
I don't believe there are hedge kings. A king needs some sort of land to rule over.
Perhaps Dudarin is meant to be. The star will lead us in the direction we are meant to be, and it does not appear to be leading us in the direction of either Andwal or Everwatch.
Perhaps it will change as we travel.
Perhaps. The gods will guide us.
I should hope so.
So on a hunch, you're gonna continue following up to Arbison?
Whoa. Hunch? This is a hunch. This is the world's greatest hunch.
The world's greatest hunch. My apologies.
Hunch, he says. I'm a wizard. I am no mere conjurer of tricks.
Cheap tricks. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Oh god. I don't like it when he says things like that.
Alright. The next few days, the cold is quite intense, and you find that traveling is incredibly difficult. And even though the road that you're traveling here is only a short ways away and should take you but a couple of days, you actually have to resort to using the puzzle box just to get refuge from the cold as you make your way along. It feels like something only the most well-equipped explorers could possibly weather on their own. However, after about 5 days, you pull into Arbison.
And question, how many days did it take us to get to Vigny?
About the same.
So, 10 days so far. And it's so So now, just for the group, it is the 29th of spring.
Yes.
No bueno. And the once we're upon Arbison,
Are we sure of that though, considering our weird sleep thing?
uh, once
Unless
we
that
talk
lady
to
was
someone,
lying to you.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it was then, but
Right,
we've
right.
obviously slept.
Right. So we'll have to ask, I suppose. Once we're upon Arbison, which direction is the star pointing?
The star points directly north now.
Mm-hmm. Once it starts pointing directly north, Meneltiern has a smug look about him.
Okay. Looking at the map and everything, you think you might be onto something. The town of Arbison has wooden buildings and very simple tidings. There's like a little well at the center of town and a very basic palisade wall that extends around it. It maybe houses like 4,000 people. And you've been here before, if I'm not mistaken, for a brief moment.
Correct. That's where the wizard ditched us, and we saw.
You acquired a stone that you weren't supposed to lose.
Listen, buddy, pal,
Guy, dude.
friend. We didn't lose it. We
You fucking smashed its shit.
No, one of us smashed it.
saving everyone's life.
Right, yeah, of course. Don't leave that part out. It's context.
You were literally
Says
you were literally both unconscious.
How was anyone to know there would be ghouls behind that door?
I mean, I fell off a mountain and lived without the need of you sacrificing a stone.
Yeah, I don't think I was unconscious at that point.
No, the stone was sacrificed before the mountain.
Exactly. We would have been fine.
Oh God. All right.
So are you
Yeah.
going into the town, or are you gonna pass around it like last time?
That's what I was about to ask. To Darren, how many rations do we have?
31.
31. We can make it to Valoo.
But the thing is that there is no Valoo.
No Valoo. Right. How much gold do we have between us?
I
I've
have
got
17.
3 platinum.
What?
Yes, payment from Theo. I've had no questions to ask, so I've had money in my pocket.
Okay. Overlooking that. Never mind. I will go into the town and collect rations for us, and you all stay in here. I'll be able to disguise myself magically.
I was about to say, we're gonna send the man with a mask into town. Sure, that won't attract attention.
I'm sure it won't, Darren. Thank you again for your astute observation. You truly are a genius among men.
Thank you.
10 out of 10.
I'll hand the platinum to Metal Tyrion.
Okay.
Make it quick. I don't think we should stay long.
No, we shouldn't.
As interested as concerned as I am that the star is leading us north.
So,
Oh, hey.
Uh-oh, what?
Nat 20 per second.
You rolled a nat 20?
Perception, he says.
Are you going into the town with him?
No.
If we're stopping here, I was gonna look around.
You can only see 60 feet though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You see in all great detail about 60 feet worth of snow blowing about you.
In great detail.
I'm gonna forget that detail quite a bit.
That's fair, that's fair.
Okay,
So, are you guys going to stay on the outskirts and Meneltier's going in?
Yeah, I'll stay
That's-
outside while he runs in.
That's
Alright.
the plan. So,
Meneltier, how are you disguising yourself?
okay, so about how much like time distance is Arbison away
From where?
from where we are?
Oh, well, you can post up at any distance that you want to be. Right? You can stop the group wherever you want. So, like, how
For-
far away do you want to be from town?
how far can a demon crow see?
Probably pretty far. In this weather, though, not far at all. There's,
Okay.
It's still the blustery, snowy mess that you traveled through to get here.
Then just how far is it until we like just see the town coming into view? Like through the snow.
You barely see it through the snow in like flickers here and there. The average visibility is that like anything's kind of blurry past like 120 feet though, unless it's like a really big object.
120 feet?
Yeah.
That's very close. Basically, I want to bring the group as close to the town to the point to which they can see like the furthest building.
So 60 feet.
60 feet.
'Cause his eyes are
Not Darren. I'm sorry. Not
Sure.
the entire group.
Yeah, you could bring
Zai,
them like 120, maybe 200 feet away from the town.
Yeah, about 240.
Okay. So you go and bring everybody up here nearby. They're sitting on the outside of the palisade wall here.
Mm-hmm. And how much time will it take me to walk to the town?
Oh, not far at all. You'll just have to like a minute or two to go and get over to the gate.
All right. Are there any people outside at the moment?
You can see what look to be a couple of guardsmen over by the palisade wall. Just at the gate opening, there's 2 people stationed. They look like they're wearing incredibly large and cumbersome fur coats and have like very heavy mittens, one of which outstretched kind of holds a spear in place.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 of them are kind of chit-chatting, their talk leaving poofs of condensation in the air.
Can I disguise myself into like a pretty basic looking commoner?
Sure. Okay. So you disguise yourself to look like a plebe from any human town, and then head on in.
Correct.
Okay. The guards give you a brief look as you approach, and one of them says, "Better go find yourself some shelter there."
Thank you, good sirs. I shuffle myself along.
Okay. You shuffle yourself into
looking
the town.
cold.
And now that you're in here, where are you going?
General store. First one I see.
Okay. So, let's see here. Step into a store that you actually kind of know. As you make your way through the streets, you sort of take a left at an area that you think would take you somewhere, and you find yourself outside of Abdar's Goods.
Abdar's Goods. Is this the one where Darren put in his heroes discount?
I don't believe so.
Or was that a smith?
No, that was somewhere else. That was a smith.
Okay.
I think that was many towns back.
I think that's Arbison.
Yeah, it was
like
Smith. It was
The
Smith
Blue
in the town.
Anvil or something like that?
Oh, it's Blue Steel as the
Blue
place that you
Steel.
went to. Don't know if you'll get rations there, but you could
Neither
try.
here nor there. So yeah, I'll go into crap, what's his name?
Abdar's Goods.
Abdar's Goods.
Okay. As you step in there, you can see a man, human, probably in his mid-20s here, who looks over and says, "Ah, you're looking pretty cold there."
Yes, very. Do you have any non-perishable rations?
6 silver apiece, my friend.
Right. 6 silver apiece. How much is 1 platinum? 10 gold?
10 gold.
10 gold.
10 gold. So
100 silver.
13. I have 13 gold. So let's do 60 silver. So that's 6 gold. Okay, so 60 silver will get me 10 rations then?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, you know what? So I will I will come up to the counter and say and give him and put down 120 silver pieces or 12 gold.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that gets you a total of 20, was it?
That should be 20. Yeah.
Okay. With no fuss, Abdar takes your goods here and kind of exchanges them out. Soon gold disappears and large bags of rations are placed on the top of the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And then I scurry my way back to my group.
Okay. You leave out back into the cold.
Oh, wait, actually, before I leave,
Mm-hmm.
I go to I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you something. What day is it?
Oh. He confirms your suspicions when you ask and tells you that indeed 10 days have passed. It's the 29th of spring.
Bit cold for the 29th of spring, don't you think?
Yeah, something's wrong in town.
You see?
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
Okay. I go back to my group.
Okay.
How many rations did you get?
Got
20.
I'd like you to please roll perception.
Mm-hmm. I am still disguised, correct?
Yes, you are. Well, how long does it last? An hour?
An hour.
Yeah, you're good.
Oof. God damn, with these 17s. 19.
There it is once again, standing over what appears to be a tavern in the distance. One that you think you stayed at before is this raven that looks around. And as you go by, it pays you no attention.
Would that be the tavern that we met him?
Indeed, and you can even see the alleyway nearby that you had tucked into.
Okay. But the crow, if he sees me, really just pays no mind to me.
Yeah, he even looks at you for a brief moment and then just looks over and looks at another person and another person.
Excellent.
Okay. You eventually
smile.
leave and make your way through the main gate there and rejoin the rest of your crew, which has been waiting outside for the last, 10 minutes or so.
I go, okay. I have 20 rations, and I also drop the disguise self. All right, shall we
Should be
continue?
plenty. Yes, let's move on. See the birds in town?
Yes, I did. Above the very tavern we met Theo originally.
Not gonna give up, is he?
I don't know if it's a matter of giving up. I don't know if he's even particularly following us. I just think he has eyes everywhere.
Aniltern, you're the wizard. You're the smart one. You know he's still following you.
I know I'm the smart one. Zai, you do not have to remind me.
I don't think you're gonna get out of that debt. Someone
No, I
or
don't
someone in
think
your
so,
family is
but-
gonna owe him.
I do not think I'll get out of it, but I'd rather approach him with payment rather than empty hands. Perhaps a spell book filled with countless items of
Oh, no.
knowledge. Perhaps
Just
that
look at
can
Ivan.
pay the debt. Who knows?
Ivan's
I
been
guess we
curiously
never
silent
will.
for most of the trip.
Well, perhaps.
Metaltier glares at Ivan before continuing on the path.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yes, I'm curious to see what remains of Volu.
Indeed.
Okay. Let's make a roll here. The storm lessens up a little bit, but not by much, and travel towards Volu is slow once again. 3 days pass until you finally pull into town.
Now, you say pull into town. What is
Indeed.
still the ashen fields of Volu?
So, the sights of Volu are rather odd. As you look around, there's snow that coats everything, but off towards the distance, as you're starting to make your way up the road, sure enough, marked on your map marker, there's a small settlement up ahead. And you can see that there's a number of very basic wooden buildings that have been erected here, surrounded by a number of tents, which are all over the place.
Oh. Wait, I can't see that. Never mind.
So, Darren, you see nothing, but the rest of the group, you can see this. The snow has died down a little bit, though it's incredibly cold, and it's a brutally difficult day. And it seems as though somebody is living here, and even a few, semi-permanent structures have been erected.
Mm-hmm. I say to Darren, it looks like people are starting to rebuild Valoo, possibly?
That's good. It was full of fire and death the last time we were here.
I'm quite confused
Right.
though. It's the middle of winter, or at least feels that way. Why wander off to the ruins of some old town and rebuild now?
Well, we've been gone for some time, Zai. There's a chance they started here quite earlier.
Still, even the word rebuild, it's not like anyone from Valoo survived.
Mm-hmm. Whatever the case, there are people here now. Also, star changes at all on the way to Valoo?
Pointed north all along
Okay.
your travels.
Okay. Okay, we continue.
Okay? So you're just gonna pass around the town?
No.
You're gonna
No,
go
I
into
want to go
town?
in town.
Oh, I mean, if
Okay.
it's pointing north, right?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you travel through the town, making your way ahead, and your footsteps, they fall onto like crunches of snow, which reveals to have like a charcoal underneath it that still lays there from so long ago. You can see that these couple semi-permanent wooden structures up ahead, which are at the center of all these tents, seem to be on a raised up area. It's like it's a low hill. And you remember, some of you, that that's where the large rock was that all of the castle once rested on, though now it has been reduced to maybe like a quarter of its size, and likewise everything else has been decimated around here. There's no evidence of buildings, there's no evidence of walls. All that was formerly Valoo is gone. As you step in towards here, you get to the point where you're making your way towards some of the earliest tents, and that's when you notice it. It's kind of warm here.
Curious. By the way, once we're kind of close enough, I'd like to start like looking around for Theo's birds.
Ah,
I'm gonna take my winter clothes off as soon as it starts getting warm.
Zai, put those
Stick
back
them in my
on.
bag. It's so warm. I can't stand these clothes. They're so restricting.
I need to be free.
God damn.
Roll that
What
perception,
else?
please, Maneltierin.
Wow. 7.
7. As you look around, you see no bird.
We still ought to be careful for Theo's eyes. Although I believe we found the reason why people began to rebuild in the dead of winter, Zai.
But now I'm wondering why it's warm.
You mean the dead of spring?
The dead of spring. The
Well, the
30
rest of the world's in winter, or at least what we've seen.
The 32nd of spring. Almost halfway through, guys. Okay.
Interesting.
What? I don't like it when you say shit like that, man.
So, what is the group's plan? Gonna look around, see what you can find.
Enter town?
Sure. You start to make your way through the tents and can find that here on their outsides there's occasionally a group of people who are gathered around a little fire with a pot that sits there burning away. And the further and further in that you go, the warmer it seems to become.
Right. First group of people, can I approach them?
Sure. So you're kind of still on the outskirts here. You've passed by maybe a few tents when you bump into what looks to be a group of 4 people who are seated around a campfire. They have the look of adventurers, maybe even a scholar there. Very heavy backpacks laden with supplies lay about
Right.
them, and their tents are arranged almost in a little semicircle around this campfire. A stew bubbles in its center, and they see you guys approaching.
Hello.
Hey,
Greetings, fellow
Mhm.
travelers. What brings you to, I guess, the remains of Baloo?
well, we were traveling around on the road there, and a big snowstorm came in. Had to turn back and ended up here.
Who is speaking? Is this the scholarly-looking fellow?
No, it seems to be the oldest of the bunch. Seems to be a kind of gruff man in his 40s.
I look towards the scholarly person of the group. What do you make of all this? The heat in the dead of winter, or rather dead of spring, as it would be, but nevertheless.
Yeah, he looks over at you and he says, "Magic. It's clearly magic." And then the other one looks at him and says, "It's not magic. Stop." He goes, "No, it's magic. It's gotta be."
Likely could be magic, the work of the gods, perhaps.
The gruff man frowns at you.
Well, if not magic, then what would you say it is?
Probably all
Isn't
the fire that was here before.
Thank you to Darren for your, again, absolutely astonishingly intelligent comments. I live for them.
I really hope it's like the fact that there was fire here. Just to rub it in.
Try.
The man looks over at you and he says, "Well, magic or not, this is a camp to rest at before we move on. That's what it is.
Indeed. Well,
You're one
thank
of those
you
crazies
nevertheless.
that are gonna just live in the middle of nowhere. You want to head towards the center of town."
Thank you. We will.
Is there a leader of these crazies?
Oh, really? I think they're trying to sort that out right now.
Oh,
Nothing I want to get interested in.
fascinating.
Thanks for your time. Safe travels to you.
He gives you a hand wave.
I wave back.
Being a member of the common folk and everything, your wave gets a bunch of nods and smiles as your group turns away. And where are you guys going to go now? Back towards the center?
Yes, center
to
of
the
town.
crazies.
The
Yes,
crazies.
directly towards the crazies. Will fit right in.
Indeed. So you go further in. You pass more groups like the one you had seen before, but the demographics start to change. As you get closer, you see something odd. You see people who have their winter clothes hung up, and sure enough, as you get closer here, despite the fact that there is like a cold wind that blows on occasion, it actually feels quite warm, and your winter coats feel like too much.
I take it off.
Okay?
I'll just
You s-
open mine up.
You see what looks like a family set up out of a tent there. There's a woman attempting to feed some sort of gruel to a child, and like a father nearby who's chopping wood. You see there's somebody who looks like they're shoring up a pair of shoes, putting a new pair of soles on the bottom of them over at another tent. And up ahead on the hill, there's a cluster of these wooden houses that you're getting ever and ever closer to. And you can see at their center what looks to be a bunch of people wearing robes that are currently arguing amongst one another. Not to the point where it's like yelling that just runs all over the town, but they're definitely a little bit perturbed with one another.
Right. Mithrimbor will, or not. Ugh. Oof.
Ooh,
I mean,
that
he's,
was a long-
he's somewhere nearby.
That was
There.
a long time ago.
I think that's his femur over there.
Meneltier will begin to
Please.
approach them.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm just gonna stand on like the edge of them and listen to their
Interesting.
arguing.
So
Exactly.
yeah, as you get closer, you see that there's a bit of a scene that's unfolded in front of you, and up in between these houses, there appears to be 3 people wearing a set of robes, and One of them wears a set of green robes, another one a set of white, and the other one seems to be wearing what looks to be like a noble's attire. All around them, there's an audience which keenly watches, sort of like a game played with a ball that moves from one court to the other as they
Right.
sort of watch this
Next
transpire.
moving back and forth.
Indeed. And as they speak, it becomes clear that these three people are arguing about what to do with Valoo. You can see
Okay.
that the green-robed man has the look of a druid. It's quite clear and is obvious to see. His hair is scraggly and spills out from beyond his robes, barely contained by their confines, and he's advocating for hunting from the wild in the area and not disturbing any of the nature that is still around, and that the winter that has come to this land is but a natural part of the world, and that it should be treated as such. And you can see that the man in white seems to have different ideas about it. He tells that the winter here is a curse from the gods, and that this warmth which radiates from the earth is a sign that only the chosen people would gather here during this time of great cold. And you can see that the man who is wearing the regalia of a noble doesn't actually say a whole lot. He just watches as the other two kind of argue, and then occasionally puts in his 2 cents. You are now standing, and perhaps some of you seated amongst this ring of many people who have kind of made their way around this argument, which
Right.
is happening.
If
So-
it starts to get heated, I'm going to step in.
Heated. Okay.
That wasn't on purpose.
You're literally the worst.
It's okay, it's Tuesday group. It's time for some
I'm
fish
sorry.
jokes.
Who
Look,
who
mine
makes all
were,
those fucking fish puns?
mine were the best. I'm sorry.
So they say. So the argument continues, and the one in green says, "I alone can commune with nature. You should all follow in my stead, lest this settlement, as great as it is, fall to the elements." And the one in white says, "You have no idea how to interpret the will of the gods. People here do not follow me. Soon they will find themselves struck down by divinity." And the other one steps forward and says, "Well, you're both crazy. I think you should just choose me."
I nudge Zai, and then I nod my head towards Dudarin, and then I
Yeah, I'm gonna pull Darren into the middle of these people while they're talking about who should lead, and so soon I'll push Dudarin out, and I'll stand at his left side.
Interesting.
Silence, all of you! I'll see what reaction I get here.
Sure.
I keep quiet.
Because the other people here are talking amongst themselves, your voice is considerably louder than the rest of theirs, as they're kind of trying to be respectful and keep their tones down. Your
question.
words radiate over
Does-
the area. Yes, what's up?
Can minor illusion make his voice louder?
No.
Thaumaturgy good.
Thaumaturgy can, yeah. So, you
Good
call
lord,
out
Wizard.
and you
Well,
say
shit.
silence, and people actually turn their heads to look over, and sure enough, you guys do kind of stick out from the crowd, being a group of people with weapons left and right, just a whole bunch of adventurers, a motley crew, one of you in a bunch of wizard robes, another in a suit of armor that's been like cobbled together, another a monk from strange land, like, you know, a dwarf that's with you, completely clad in heavy armor. They look over and stare at you for a brief second. And then you hear the man in white says, "Who is this?"
Who is this? Who are you, I should ask?
I
Do
wait.
all of you not realize what happened at Valoo? Valoo was taken over by Longflame, and in order to stop her, my comrade Dudairn here. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's Dudairn, the hero of 3 towns, slayer of sea hags, killer of bandit kings, and ender of Longflame.
I would
He
like
fought
you
Longflame. Oh,
to please go ahead and make a persuasion roll with advantage.
That noble's last
yeah.
name isn't Longflame, is it?
11.
An 11.
Oh,
The three
Can I-
figures up ahead don't seem to have any recognition of this as you call out Dudaren's amazing titles, but you definitely hear, sown amongst the people in the circle, rumblings. Someone goes, Dudaren, is that Dudaren? Really? No, it can't be him.
Alright, I start to hear some of the
Um,
rumblings. I
like,
just sort of look back at them.
Like
Go
the
ahead.
like the genie from Aladdin, I would like to go throughout the crowd, being like, "Yeah, that's Dudaren. Did you hear he did this?"
Just this masked man, like, no, real dude, that's him. Okay.
Look, this town was in the grips of Longflame, and Dudaren and our comrades, we came and defeated her, and in her last dying breath, she destroyed the town to keep it from him. If the town is being rebuilt, if anyone should lead, it's the man who defeated Longflame in combat, Dudaren.
The three figures look at one another, and then they kind of look at the crowd around, and by now the crowd is kind of watching you guys intently, and the rumors are spreading about. Some of the people are staring at you pretty intently, Dudaren.
No, yeah, current Dudaren would do this. I'm gonna lean down and like whisper to Zagataka, like, don't forget that I was like chosen by a god.
Oh, right, yes.
Don't leave out the fire one that hates me.
Of course. We've been sent back to this land by Tilva herself. Dudaren is now an agent of Tilva.
The one in
He has the
green
gods
says
behind
nothing.
him.
The one in white, though, steps forward. He looks irate. You can see he's a balding man as he takes off his cap there. He's got a sort of white beard all braided together. He's furious. There's a flush coming to his cheeks. And he says, "How dare you say that you speak for Tilva? I demand
then-
proof."
I will remove
I-
my armor.
And I would also like to emerge, like, from the crowd behind him.
I'll remove my armor, showing my brand, and I'll get in close so you can see my eyes.
Okay, so you strip down to the point of being bare-chested, and there it is as your last piece of hide armor moves to the side and the shuffle of your common clothes. A blazing sword tattooed all over your chest. And it's huge, and also looks not only like a tattoo, but almost like a brand. The scars that have been laid there. Everybody watches intently.
And he
And-
gasps.
You see a couple of people are now convinced in the crowd, and they look like they're watching like a figure from history is stepping forward.
Nice.
Is this enough proof for you? And I'll motion over to his chest.
Yeah, it's but a petty trick. Anyone could go and have a brand like that placed on themselves.
And then I would like to kind of come up beside him. It is not only his brand, it is the prophecy lain in the stars by the gods.
I will walk up and lean in close so he can look directly in my shining eyeballs.
Your eyeballs look normal. They're not shining.
What? You said there was a light behind them.
No, they appear normal.
Oh, well darn, then I won't do that.
But does Dudaren think that they're crazy looking?
Well, you can step forward towards this guy here just to try and like posture towards him if you want.
I would do that.
Sure. Okay. You notice something as you step forward towards this man. Behind him, over his shoulder, the figure in green, something warbles about his figure, and you know from your divine vision that he is shapeshifted. He is not in his true form.
I will point to him. It's like, you aren't who to the green man. You're not who you claim to be.
Make an intimidation check for me, please, Dudaren. And do so with advantage, since all of the crowd is following behind your whim here as you point out and everyone looks in unison.
As soon as he says that, I'm just gonna kind of grip my
That
my
is a
staff.
19.
Oh!
Oh, sorry, I clicked that while you're taking it away. A 19. He takes a step back, almost instinctively, and then immediately steps forward again. He says, "This is preposterous. You are just a troublemaker, some traveler off the roads trying to send these people astray."
Drop your disguise.
People look on towards him, and he says, "There's no disguise." And
Does he
you
look
can
like
see
he's
what looks
nervous?
like a villager kind of like off behind the guy who is currently watching, and he sort of like reaches around his belt and pulls out what looks like a cudgel and just kind of holds it in his hand for a minute.
What's
And
a
like
cudgel?
Yeah, I was
a
gonna
cudgel's
say.
like it's like a very small club. It's like
Oh, okay, like a
a cudgel's
shillelagh.
like what a policeman would use to beat like a thief or something. You see, things are getting a little tense in the circle of people who are watching.
I whisper into Zygataka. I say, I can cast magic to possibly force him to drop his disguise. Should I?
Probably a good idea. These people need to see who his true form is. I'd like to as well.
I cast suggestion, and my suggestion to him would be to show his true form.
Oh. Okay.
And that suggestion is creatures. I'm pretty sure it's just a save.
Interesting. Okay. Just to save.
It's
What
a
is the
wisdom.
save?
Oh, wisdom.
Okay, wisdom save. Let me grab something real quick here. I believe that shit may be dangerously close to hitting the fan.
At least we got a whole makeshift
fan.
10 of people on our side.
Bunch of cannon fodder, some bullet sponges.
Oh no!
Fuck, this makes me think of Preacher now.
Everyone dies here all over again.
We all just wanted to be warm.
We came here for the hot pockets, nothing else.
I'm sorry I had to look with my special eyes.
Oh. Where is that? Use the glossary, you retard. Fuck? Should be there.
Could always Google it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I hope he has like a -4 wisdom. That'd be
so
nice.
incredibly strange.
He not
Probably,
there?
he's probably like a furbolg or something.
He's obviously a white dragon.
It's gonna be a good time, is what it's gonna be.
I mean, unless I don't know.
He is it's an ancient white dragon.
Well, who knows? I mean, like, he might just pass the save. Maybe all my checking is for naught.
Right.
Oh, did I find what I'm looking for? I found what I'm looking for. A wisdom save. Okay, here we go. He has to be a...
13, I believe. I didn't level up, so.
Well, he had a decent bonus, but he actually rolled a 2.
Yeah, boy.
He had a decent bonus. Nothing saves you from a 2.
You call out towards him and tell him to drop his disguise. Do you make any subterfuge casting the spell? Like, do you try to play it off like you're not? Or do you clearly cast magic on him and call this out?
Do you just go like, yeah, do what he said?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it publicly, but doing it like that. Like, do as he says.
Okay, you say, do as he says, pointing for a moment while making like an arcane sigil with your finger here. And off goes the magic here, and you see it clicks for a brief moment, and the man lowers his head so that the top of his hood covers his face for a second, and then his form begins to rise. There's like almost like a bubbling
Oh, Lord.
cauldron lid, like
What
moving
the
on the
fuck?
top here, as he becomes taller and taller until standing in front of you is some sort of horrid 8-foot creature. From beyond the green robes, you see what looks like flesh colored red, and he reaches up and pulls off this garb of green and drops it to the ground. And there you see in front of you what looks like some sort of horrid creature. Go ahead and make for me, please, an Arcana check or a Nature check if anyone has proficiency.
Nope.
Does nobody have Arcana
What?
or Nature?
I don't have either,
Our
but would I
wizard
maybe,
doesn't have
like,
Arcana?
They go,
I have
what?
Arcana.
Okay.
I am sorry. I was.
would I maybe have
receiving ice
knowledge of
cream.
like horrific creatures due to my?
That's okay then.
That's still an 11.
Okay, that's not good.
No.
How about you, Ivan? Do you have anything?
No nature, no arcana.
Oh, shit.
Can I roll for the sake of rolling?
Roll for the
Yeah, would I know about this stuff just because I like, you know?
I'll let you guys roll, but unless you get a 19 or a 20, you're not gonna know.
Oh, that's cool. I got this. Here comes a nice thing.
That's cool, I
There we
got
go.
this.
Three nat 20s, come on.
What's that?
What's that?
Oh my god. By some strange
So good,
manner,
guys.
you actually know what this is, Zai. Standing in front of you is an Afridi, a fire genie. It is a terrible and powerful creature, and everybody gasps as it reveals its true form. You see a blade down by its side, which to it would be maybe like a long sword, easily like a human greatsword, barely wieldable by your
As
average
it's
human.
rising, I just want to like kind of say in a hushed tone, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, when I realize he's a fire genie, I pee myself a little bit. I think we're in trouble, Minotaur.
I stand firm.
Okay. You stand there, and he turns over towards you, and knowing that the sorcery has affected him, you can see there's a moment like a bit of disbelief, and he looks down at his form for a second, blinking his eyes, and then he looks over at you, and you see his face turns into a horrible, contorted snarl. The nobleman quickly takes a few steps away, and so too does the man in white robes, and everybody please roll
about the-
initiative.
What about the fodder? Where's our fodder?
The guy with the cudgel also backs the fuck up.
What? He's not gonna help us?
No, he's
I'm gonna get him.
definitely not.
Oh shit, that's a genie. Never mind. That's not a high roll.
He was ready to beat an old man who said he was from the woods. Oh,
I would like
fuck,
to
he just
point
rolled a
out-
20 on his...
I got a solid 4.
I'd like to point out that the
Listen,
last
if he was gonna roll a 20 on something, I'd prefer it be that.
the
Yeah, I
last
guess.
3
That's
initiative,
true.
including this one, have been 9, 10, and 8.
Hmm.
So
So it's only going lower from here is what you're saying.
well, it went up last session.
Oh, okay. So here we are. You guys are placed at the center over here.
Wow, it really is TPK week.
No need to get so fatalist so quickly.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 8-foot genie.
That's no biggie.
I didn't.
I mean-
Not that I don't have faith for us. I'm just a little.
I mean, we killed a demon last week.
That's a good point. We also pushed it down a 90-foot hole.
Yeah, we don't have that luxury now.
Can I roll perception and see if there's 90-foot holes somewhere nearby?
Yeah, you're out of luck.
Dudarn
Darn.
will gladly jump down them.
Why do we keep fighting giant things?
Because we're fucking idiots.
Because you guys are lucky.
Just
Yeah,
remember
okay.
the plan, though. Go for the knees.
He's first to go. He's 8 feet tall, so he's quite tall, but it's not like I can only attack his ankles, sort of gargantuan. And he takes a couple of steps forward and goes to slice at you with his blade. Let's see who the favorite happens to be. It's likely going to be Dudarn. Let's see. Oh no. In fact, it's not. It's but the opposite. He comes towards you, Meneltyr, and
Yep.
your meddling magic.
When you said
strikes out with
opposite,
you.
I was like, yep, that's me. So is he gonna kill me in one hit? Is that's how that's gonna work?
Well, he is going to make 2 slashes. The first one he makes in your direction, and then he swings another one towards Ivan. So, Meneltyr, does a 13 hit?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Oh,
Because
Jesus fuck.
yeah, my armor class is at 12, and I don't have mage armor on right now.
Right.
Wasn't expecting to, fight a genie.
Nobody does. You take 13 points of damage.
That's more than half.
Okay. He slices over towards you, Ivan, with a second swipe. Does a 17 hit?
Nope.
Okay. This time, you're able to bring up your sturdy dwarven shield, and the blade slides along it, and he grimaces in your direction and looks down at you, and he says, "This plane belongs to me." and he kind of like leans over you, like his huge red form, like imposing, almost blocking out the sun. After that, it's your turn, Zai. What do you want to do?
Isn't there a save that I have to do if he does more than half my total hit points in one swing?
No.
No?
Where do you think that's from?
I don't know. I feel like I remember that. I'll look in the book.
That might be like a special rule. I've never heard of that. Zai, it's your turn.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
As he's like making his little comment to Ivan, I'd like to crack him in the side of the head with my staff.
Okay.
That's 21.
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
Oh wait, that's not it. Never mind. Wrong dice.
I was like, it is empowered, but I don't think it's that powerful.
That's not really a roll. Much as I'd like to 10. Oh, that's 6 damage.
Okay. You swing out and smash the side of his head for 6 damage there. He his head staggers for a second and he looks over at you, gritting his teeth. You can see like flames of magic behind his eyes almost.
As soon as he looks over, I'd like to try to get 2 quick shots in there. Using a key point for 2 bonus attacks. The first one's 17.
That hits.
And the second one will be 18.
Both of those hit. Roll damage.
For 12 damage.
12 damage. You get a strike in, one fist and then another, and as your second palm comes out, you hit him in the side of the head because he's turned in your direction, and one of his teeth flies out from his mouth, and he looks at you like you are soon to join the dead.
Alright, I'm just gonna grip my staff with both hands and stare at him, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. After that, it's yours, Dudarin. What do you want to do?
I'm going to claim my axe from my belt.
Okay.
And swing it at his face. Or nearby. That is a 17.
17 hits. Roll damage.
Not bad.
Wait, it's wrong die.
We're really
Theme
good at that.
here.
We'll get it eventually. What's my strength mod? That is 7 damage.
7. Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do it again.
Okay.
Whew, that was close. That was 21.
That hits as well.
Ooh, for 10 damage.
Okay. 7 and
Maximum
10.
damage.
You strike him again, and this time get a pretty decent cut into his left arm there. He kind of strains his arm there for a second, stretching out the muscle, and turns over towards you. And he stands tall this time, stepping back for a second, and he puffs out his chest to like show your group his full form here. Is that your turn?
Yes, with a question.
Yes.
I know my armor is useless, which prevents me from using my greatsword. Does it prevent me from using the versatile on my battle axe as well?
Versatile on your battle axe. Yeah,
Versatile. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can only make like one-handed strikes and stuff.
Right. I just want to be absolutely sure.
Yeah. After that, it's your turn, Mental Tier, and you're currently engaged with this creature. What do you want to do?
Cast blindness.
Oh.
That is a con
Ooh.
saving throw.
Okay. Let's see.
Please, for the love of God and all that is holy.
Well, he just rolled a nat 1.
I love my life.
Your magic is
Permanent
cash
life.
money this evening.
I know.
Okay. You see it's like a dark mist appears behind his eyes, and you see a blink that he does and a look of frustration.
Okay. As soon as I realize my spell has taken effect, this right. I'm sorry. So, this right here. This is a building.
Yes, it's one of the few wooden houses in the area.
Okay.
You guys are all up on a hill that's probably like about yay big.
So I'm
And
gonna.
everyone
go,
has moved far
what
away
do I
by
have?
now. They're like over here sort of thing.
Right. So I'm gonna go over to the edge of this building.
Okay.
just to where he can't see me, but I can peek out.
Okay. So he is going to make an opportunity attack on you, but
Can he if he's blind?
yeah, so he's blind, so he has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Would he even know to make that attack though?
Hackers can.
It doesn't say he can't, so.
He automatically fails checks requiring sight, but it just makes no sense that it says disadvantage
Right.
on attack rolls
Right.
if he couldn't still make one.
Right.
So
It's like
He's
he
a
could hear you
flail
walking
wildly,
away and
right?
make a
Yeah.
swing.
So he swings wildly in your direction a single time as you go to get away, and he gets a 13.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
That's enough.
Let's see. You take 11 points of damage.
I am unconscious.
Oh, no.
So I'm not over there. I'm over there. Unconscious.
Okay. Is blindness concentration?
Oh, I don't believe so.
Give that a
No.
brief look for me if you would.
No,
It
it
is
is
not.
not.
No? Perfect. Okay, so that continues. How long does it last?
He gets to make a save at the end of each turn. Otherwise, it lasts a minute.
Minute. Okay. So after that, you guys see as a single swipe, flailed out without even seeing, sends Meneltirn down to the ground. Ivan, it's your turn. You can tell that the creature is blinded, and you also know if you were to attack it, you would have advantage on your strikes. There is, however, an ally down on the ground, so what you want to do, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Okay. Would I be able to cast Cure Wounds and kind of shove Metal Tyrion away from the creature?
Sure, I would allow that if you can pass the strength check to move him.
I'm
He's
very.
light,
I'm
so
very,
you need to get a 12 or higher.
I'm dainty.
Dainty.
Oof.
That is not a pass.
Okay,
Alright. I'll still throw the Cure Wounds on him.
so roll that heal. You kind of move to his side here.
He gets 5 HP back.
Okay, things are going south. Meneltirn, you're once again alive, laying on the
Hey,
ground.
still bonus action, or?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
bonus action,
oh,
I will
God.
cast Divine Favor on myself.
Okay. You can feel the swelling favor of Tilva running through you, and this is your empowered spell, is it not?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see here. After that, it is the creature's turn.
End of his turn, he gets to make the save. By the way.
Okay.
I really hope he doesn't make it. The most underwhelming
Yeah.
blind ever.
No one gets to use it. Ooh.
Oh.
He
Three
retreats,
opportunity
and you
attacks?
can make 3 opportunity attacks. Meneltirn, you can make one as well with disadvantage, or I guess a normal attack roll, because he's still blinded, and you have disadvantage from being on the ground. So please, everybody make that.
We have advantage
Throw
because he's
advantage.
blind.
Yeah, you guys have advantage. I'm prone.
Yeah,
so
he's prone, so it
My
cancels out.
disadvantage cancels out my advantage. Oh wait. Yeah. So no, I don't.
Miss, okay.
Oh,
1 in
great.
20. Oh, dude.
Does he just like blow up when I hit him?
He broke the universe.
Okay, so what were the hits there? The 20 is definitely gonna go, and then
I'm gonna use the Channel Divinity, throw a plus 10 on mine, so that's like a 24.
okay, that'll hit. So what do we got coming in here?
All the dice.
I think you might be muted, Judarian.
Oh, come on. That was almost huge. That is only 12.
So 12 damage from you.
4
Sorry, my
bludgeoning
mic-
damage, 7 radiant.
4 and 7. Okay.
So
And
I got
then-
a 21 to hit, dealing 7 damage.
7. Okay. You all manage to get a few hits in as he steps away, and you see what looks like a summoning of some sort of flame around his hand here, which he then moves to his palm and grasps it, and a magical spell goes off. Let's see here.
What kind of spell?
We're all dead. We should have moved. We should have learned from Long Flame.
Well, I couldn't exactly move. I tried my darndest.
Don't worry,
Well, at least
Fireball
when you get
can
hit, you
miss,
won't instantly
guys.
know.
Hmm.
Fires off into the sky because he's blind.
You see, as this spell finishes, that his form continues to grow, and he goes from being a large creature to a huge creature. Give me 2 seconds here.
That's a huge bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
All in all, I think this is a good idea, guys.
I mean,
I don't see what's going wrong. I mean,
I
it's
wasn't
fine.
exactly expecting a fire genie, so I mean, I thought it
I
was
mean-
a good idea.
I mean, it's like a Dance of the Boreal Valley. Super easy.
Everybody gasped in shock, and the people who had been watching the fight on the outskirts quickly turned to run for safety from their tents here. And he goes to pass the save. It's con, is it not?
Oh, yeah, it
Okay.
is a con save.
And he passes it. The blindness is
You're
gone.
the worst.
He looks over towards you all and prepares to fight. At that, let's see, it's your turn, Zai.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna run at him over here and take a swing with my staff
Okay.
for a big 7.
7, no, you miss. Not even touching him.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a key point to disengage,
Okay.
and then you know what? No, I don't have any movement left. Never mind. I'm just gonna bonus action attack again.
Sure.
That's a 12.
12 misses.
All right, that's it. I will stand there hanging my head in shame.
Dude, Aaron, you're up.
Well, I don't actually have the movement to get in the melee range of him. So I will flank instead.
Okay.
I don't really care whose house this is.
Okay. It's not going to be a house for long. Is that your turn?
Could I ready an action?
Sure.
When he tries to come and smack my face, I want to hit him with an axe instead.
Okay. Mentaltier, you're up. You're laying on the ground with 5 HP, and you've regained consciousness. You blacked out for a second, but you're back.
Doing good. Sounds like a good day. I get up, and now I have what 15, so that is not very far. But I'm gonna make my way this way, spreading out from the rest of the group. I would like to cast spell. That spell is gonna be, I believe, yeah. We're gonna try it. He wasn't doing good with his initial roll, so you know we'll see if he's keeping that up. I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter as a wisdom save, and I say, you know, they always called me a genius.
He passes
Genie.
the save.
Oh, does he still think it's funny?
No, he gives you like a scornful look for a brief moment and then turns over towards Zai as though he's about to turn him into jelly.
I yell back at Melton.
Better.
I swear you're next if you don't stop with that.
It's a spell.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Yeah, like, I can't change the words, you have to... Ivan, you're up.
Alright, I run up and take swings at him, assuming I can reach him
I don't think
actually.
you can get there. No, because he has
Alright,
40 move
wow.
speed and you have 25. So,
What a
Alright,
bitch.
so I will get as close as I can.
dashing.
Dashing and
Yeah.
Through the snow.
through
Indeed.
the snow.
No, not
Let's
here,
look
dude.
at
It's
the snow.
full.
On the ruins of Long Flame?
Over the hills
That's
we
it.
go. Genies all the way. Oh shit. Motherfucker. Okay, so you dash up, and the creature turns over towards you, Zai. Your 2 failed attacks. He swings down at you, and then does a backhand swing over towards Ivan. So yours is... Does a 16 hit, Zai?
Yes.
Yeah? How about a
Yeah, it
21, Ivan?
I mean, I guess.
It's sorta maybe. Don't
A
want
little
it,
bit.
but...
Just a tad.
Zai, you take 16 points of damage. Ivan, you take 17.
Not bad.
Then he turns over towards you, Dudairn, and you see he brings up his hand, and there in it is a burning ball of fire, and he sends it forth towards you like a martial artist sends out a palm, and you see as his stance shifts and he holds out his arm, this fireball just hurls towards you at incredible speed. Let's see if it hits.
I dodge it completely.
Dudairn, does a 15 hit?
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh boy. Wait a minute, I thought fire... Maybe it's not fireball. I should stop metagaming.
11 points. You take 21 points of damage. You are struck with a bunch of flame that bursts against you and then quickly extinguishes, but the pain and the heat lingers. Are you still alive?
Yes, but I'm very mad because I just bought these clothes.
After that, it's your turn, Zai.
Okay, so I'll first try to make an attack with my staff.
Oh shit, I took my armor off before this fight.
Yeah, it was a questionable choice.
That's a 13.
You're missing some chest hairs now.
Oh.
13 misses.
I'm surprised he had any left.
So I'll use a key point to disengage, and then I'm gonna take off.
Peace out, Ivan.
Here
Have fun.
for now.
Okay. Dudairn, you're up.
Well, firstly, I'm going to second wind.
Okay.
That's not great.
Yeah,
How's it going
that's a
for you,
3.
buddy?
Well, it's a 6.
More than a 3.
Still not have health. Oh. You win some, you lose some. Charge!
Smart
Charging in.
ideas. Only good ideas from Dudairn.
Only good ideas. Okay, you managed to close distance with this horrible genie.
That's a crit.
Ooh, that's a crit. Yeah, you're a champion fighter. Go ahead and roll that
Crit him.
sweet DPS.
Yeah.
See
So
the
actually
deeps.
select 2 dice. Wrong dice. I want to keep... What's wrong with me today?
Who knows, buddy? We've all been there.
That is 12 damage.
Okay, you land a good axe strike and manage to cut fairly deep here. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. After you, it rolls about to Meneltir, and you're towards the back here. Your last spell fizzled out. What do you want to do?
Okay. I want to try again. I'm gonna
Okay.
come over here. Oh wait, no, I only have 30. Not a wood elf anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna try Tasha's hideous laughter again and say, I'd prefer to look at you from Jafar. That's the best I got, guys. I'm working on.
He passes again. Everything was fine till you did jokes.
It's the way the spell works.
It's how it works.
I have no control over it.
Okay, yeah, he rolled too high. Your spell fizzles out once again, and the magic doesn't take hold.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ivan,
Base deck.
you're up.
Base dex is
Yeah.
10 points.
I roll that con save from a concentration spell I forgot to roll.
Okay,
And I fail. Cool.
nicely done.
How damaged does this genie friend look? Does he look like he's taking any damage at all?
He does look like he's taken a good deal of damage. There are cuts and bruises all over his body. It looks like he's still in good fighting form. There's nothing like a very crippling wound, but he's gashed everywhere, and it's clear that he's not fighting at like top capacity anymore.
Okay, I will throw... You know, I'm gonna throw a level 1 Cure Wounds on myself. 5 health.
5 HP. Okay.
Glorious 5 HP. And then do Spiritual Weapon and attack with that.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see what we get.
That's 21.
21. Okay. That definitely hits for... Ooh,
Hey, 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay. There we go. Alright, is that your turn?
And that's my turn. Yep.
As
Now-
you strike here, the first
dead.
hit, he staggers for a second, and you see what looks like his form reverting back to its previous size.
Fuck him up.
Now a lot more manageable, back from being like 14 feet down to 8 feet here. He turns around and looks at you all and kind of takes a step back. The spectral weapon is over his, spiritual weapon's over his shoulder. He looks at it, he looks over at you all, and then he waves his hand in front of himself and goes to cast a spell.
I wish I had level 3 spells and had counter spell.
It's a good thing to have.
Not till level, what, 5, I think?
Okay. So he runs, actually, down the hill here, and people quickly spill out of his way. You guys can make your opportunity attacks here.
This motherfucker.
20
That's that one.
modified.
Okay. That one and a 20. The 20 definitely hits for
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. As he runs down, once he's disengaged from you, he's partway down the hill, and his hand moves past, leaving a trail of shimmering magic that then renders his form entirely invisible. And he turns around and starts to run over here, before ducking behind the hill, and then disappears from sight.
Like, way down the hill?
Yeah,
Like,
so he
like,
gets all the way to the base of it, and kind of like goes around a cliff where you can't see him, and that's where he disappears.
I'm gonna run over to this edge. Kind of like...
Yeah. You are in
Essentially
pseudo
look-
combat at the moment.
Right, I want to kind of like look over in this direction, assuming that he kind of trailed off in this direction.
Yeah, you get to the corner of the cliff there and look out, and you don't see anything. Just the people looking on in horror.
God damn it.
I run up to the side and begin looking around. Like, I can only see 60 feet, but
Make an
can see
initiative
it.
check for me, Darren.
That won't
See
end
this
well.
motherfucker. See him so hard.
I mean, I do see invisible things.
Wow,
That
so
is
fast.
a 2.
Okay.
He could
You
roll a
run
1.
after to try and keep up with him, but he's too swift, and your legs can't carry you nearly as fast as his. You don't see him at all, even with your ability to see invisible creatures.
I look over to them.
I'm
think
gonna
he's
keep
gone.
looking. Did he have feet?
Does he have feet?
Yeah, there are tracks on the ground.
Ah, yeah, go ahead and roll survival.
Yeah, I'm gonna track that bastard.
Right.
Hey, another 2.
Yeah, I rolled 2.
Well, I guess
I'm not meant to
three.
find this guy.
Yeah, it's a mess, and all the snow and the chaos and the hundreds of people that were around you all dispersing out. You have no idea what happened.
20 on survival?
Oh, you got a 20? Ah.
20.
As
You
we're
see
running,
a couple of
I'm gonna-
slightly larger footsteps amidst the chaotic hundreds of others. And you see it curves down and goes towards the cliff face here, and leads to what appears to be a small opening. One so small, a cave so tiny that a halfling or a dwarf might be able to make their way inside, but a full-sized human would be hard-pressed to do so.
Dwarf?
And the tracks
heal
lead
me.
right up to there.
Where is it? Over here somewhere?
Yes, yeah, right there.
As we like run
Just
down,
a
I'm just
little
gonna
opening there.
tell like townsfolk to get away,
Ivan, what do you see?
To leave town, or you mean just back up, or what?
to get nowhere near this area. Like even farther away than they already are.
Perhaps past the battlements until we can resolve this.
Away from the hill.
You see people step away, and they heed your words, backing away from the hill as you run up towards this little opening here.
This town is so ours.
You hear like a little child calls out to you and goes, "Careful, hero!"
Alright,
Darren's heart melts and he dies.
I'm gonna attempt to make my way into the little tunnel here. Shield in front of me, protecting myself.
Make a acrobatics check, please.
Acrobatics.
He's so nimble.
So
The
nimble.
most nimble
So
dwarf
He is.
ever. Most nimble dwarf.
What is that? 17?
In all your heavy armor, with all of your gargantuan shield and weapons and everything, it's difficult, but you manage to squeeze your body in this direction, do like an awkward twist over here, and soon you've made it through the area. And you see what looks like a little cave that leads up to, towards the edge of your dark vision, that is a stairwell that goes downwards.
I call back. There's something down here. Can you guys
What-
get in?
What do you see? And at that, I try to make my way in.
Okay. Everybody make an acrobatics check if you're going in.
We just do it the easy way and hop in the box and then
Sure.
put Ivan's pocket.
That's
I mean, there's still townspeople around that are watching, so...
at your own risk.
I mean, I'm the hero to Darren. Are they gonna question my methods?
14?
Okay. You barely manage to squeeze your skinny form into there. You have to, like, snake on the ground, but eventually you get in, you can stand on the inside of the cave.
Being a skinny ass high elf helps.
Yes.
I could probably squeeze through. Darren might need to use that thing though.
Okay. You are
I'll
inside.
try.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Actually, I rolled a 17, so
And Dudarin, you too managed to struggle your way inside. All of you guys are now in a cave that goes kind of like this,
And once I see the
and then
staircase
just
going
turns into
down,
a staircase.
I kind of like mouth ajar, like I knew the gods would lead us in the right direction.
Now that the party's in, I'm moving forward.
Okay.
These must be the stairs from the prophecy.
Everyone roll perception, please.
that was not a roll. What? I'm lagging.
Such lag. Oh
Eight,
yeah,
10.
I got a 4.
4. Okay.
I got a 2.
2.
I had 20.
20.
4 is good,
Nice.
right? D&D
No,
like
that's
golf.
That's a
Yeah.
3. I think my modifier should.
Well, there
equal
was a
0 now.
20. Zai, you can hear what sounds like footsteps faintly further down the stairwell, hurrying down.
I think we're gaining on him, and I'm gonna run as fast as I can down these stairs to try to catch him.
I say, Zai, you can run faster than all of us. Be careful.
Everybody make either an athletics or acrobatics check, depending on your choice. And wow, well, the genie just rolled another nat 1, so fucking shit's looking rough for that guy.
He tripped.
Yeah, you hear him bail partway down the stairs. He has just been cut like 100 times.
Do we just like find his corpse? Can that be? I rolled a
Wow.
natural 20.
Would you consider that a 6 cock?
That's a very reroll, please.
I only had a 9 for acrobatics.
I had an 11.
How does a natural 20 acrobatics? What does that get me?
Same
can
thing.
Can I jump off
Okay.
walls and shit?
No, you're like,
That's-
people are trying to find their way in the dark and not trip down the stairs, and you're just effortlessly, just like, the gods are helping me, finally. I knew the gods would get it, and you're just like, foot by foot, getting further ahead of the group.
I got an 8. Oh, I got a 10 athletics, by the way.
10. Okay. So everybody manages to actually outpace the genie because of his terrible fall, and eventually you guys go down a couple of flights of stairs until ending up in what looks like a large room. Let's see here.
Fucking kill this motherfucking genie. I want my 3 wishes.
That's not how genies work.
How long does your spiritual weapon last, Ivan?
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay, it would be gone by now.
Alright.
Here you can see what looks like some sort of castle room. It looks like a dungeon cell almost. And over here there are melted bars, which are just like curled iron that, first comes out steady out of the ground and then warps as though some horrible heat has done them some injustice. And indeed, all
Some
throughout
corpses
the room,
of wizards, maybe?
all throughout the room, There's a great, terrible heat. And the further that you descend in towards this staircase, the hotter it gets. And down here, it's pretty sweltering. You can't be in this room without feeling like there's like a bead of sweat going down your forehead. And over here, there is a large portal of red flame. And you can see, as you guys get down here, the genie's leg just kind of like disappear beyond it.
I
Do
will
we
rush
go
up
after
towards
him?
it.
Oh, I guess we are.
I'm not jumping in.
Okay. Oh wow, that's plot twist, motherfucker.
Darren has sense about him.
Okay. Standing
new
all in
Darren.
front of this portal, I think what we will do is take a brief 5-10 minute break.
Oh shit.
Shall return in a moment. See you all
anyone-
in a few.
If anyone out there has artistic skills, I would really like a portrait of Dude Aaron bare-chested fighting a genie. Because that's what happened.
Ask the internet and thee shall receive.
It was pretty baller.
Although
That's-
chat has been very silent.
Chat's dead tonight. I don't know what it is. It's probably because we've missed the Monday groups or something.
Everyone's like, he quit.
It's over. Yeah, who knows?
Okay. I'll
Uh,
be back.
Be back in 5 or 10. I'm gonna grab a quick snack.
At the
Dang.
very least, that should be a tapestry that hangs in my manor.
One day we'll have it commissioned. So, any further along getting that portrait commissioned?
Are you talking, Doc?
Me? No.
Oh God. The
Why?
devil.
Speak his name and he shall appear.
Mm-hmm. Like Beetlejuice.
You only said it
Beetlejuice.
once. Don't.
Is he not a cool guy?
But
He's not a cool guy.
it's alright.
I just cleaned my house. I don't need that shit right now.
It's fair. Cast summon anything after cleaning the house.
At least not for a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, after like 2 days, is it really clean anymore?
Going down into your basement. God damn it, what is there a portal to the elemental plane of fire doing open down here?
No reason.
No reason. I told you, no more opening portals.
Maybe it's a good thing we didn't go down to the dungeon the first time we were here.
All those wizards were already dead.
Oh, they could have been alive, but maybe we could have ended up in the plane of fire at an earlier time.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say at this point they're pretty dead.
Oh, now there, yeah.
Like hella dead. I mean, Meneltyrn has no idea about any wizards, but if he did, he would definitely think they're super dead. Extra dead. I really like how these notes have just spiraled out of control.
What? No, they're fine.
Need lots of rope. The 32th of spring.
It's 32nd.
The 32th.
Also, I think we got the rope, so we can get rid of that.
We're good.
Get-
Yeah, that's the one thing Dudarin does before he goes into the fucking portal. Do I have my rope? Alright, we're good, guys. Let's do it.
There, it's fixed.
Any 90-foot holes that I can push this genie down?
Maybe over on that side.
Right? You never know.
I mean, I keep good track of our rations,
And the
Our
portal
nat
could
20.
just go to a 90-foot hole.
and everything else is kind of by the wayside.
You have like just about 10 days of rations.
Like, one person can go hungry out here, and we'll be fine.
Savage.
And 10 days and we're about to
Skinny
go
doesn't
into a
eat much.
portal.
We're fine. We're good.
And it's not like we can eat things down there.
I'm sure.
Because we were going in a
rocks,
portal.
Ash.
Is everybody here and ready to go?
Ready to grow.
I think we're all here except Relic.
I'm here.
Never mind.
Lurking off in the distance. Okay.
Never far.
Back into.
Time to die, motherfucker.
Welcome back, everybody. Before we left off for the break, the group had just made themselves a little jaunt down a bunch of steps, and now they find themselves standing in front of a large flaming portal, having just seen the last bit of this genie's leg disappear beyond it. What do you all wish to do? It emanates a horrible heat.
Alright. What's the plan of action? Also, would I know that on the other side of this is the elemental plane of fire?
You could definitely try and discern that. An Arcana
Okay.
check, please.
Absolutely. That is a 21.
What you learn from studying this for the brief few seconds that you have here before your friend Dudarin decides to go headlong into it.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's looking at it though, and you're worried.
Good point.
Not talking character. I mean, like Charlie's worried he's about to go in there. No, I'm just kidding. You take a look at this, and you know that portals generally require some amount of sigils, prep, ritual to summon into existence. This one shows no evidence of such preparation. It is simply there and it exists, and there's no magical markings, but it's clearly a portal. You can't tell what's on the other end, but if the fire was any indication, that's what your guess would be.
Right.
Or perhaps a fiery, like, abyssal plane or something like that.
Right. So would this be more of a portal then, or like a rift between dimensions?
Quite possibly the latter.
Hey, before we do anything else, can I just, after we see him, like, go through, can I just throw a couple of
He's not
stars
going
in
through.
there? No. When we see
Oh.
the genie's leg, I just
I
want to whip
gotcha.
a couple stars in case they happen to go through and, like, hit him in the back.
Interesting. You throw the stars, and the stars disappear beyond the portal's edge. Just goes through, and you see
We
them
go
down
through
again.
and find a dead genie. 2 throwing stars in his
So
back.
I will
It's
turn
full
back
size
to
melee
Mental Tier.
weakness.
Can you close the portal?
I'm not entirely sure that it's a portal. Most portals are summoned with sigils of some kind. There are none of that. Nothing like that around here, so
Looking around
Well-
the back of the portal, what do I
It-
see?
You see nothing.
it indicates that this is likely a rift between dimensions, and if the immense heat and fire are any giveaway, I would wager the elemental plane of fire, or perhaps the abyssal realm.
Well,
Well,
based
that's
on
my-
our experiences here before, Darren, it's most likely the plane of fire, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and that's why I want someone else to take care of it, so God doesn't hate me again.
Can examining it closer, is there anything I can gather, or more or less from the Arcana check that I did, is that kind of what I can get?
That's what you get.
Okay. There's not much we can do exactly, because I don't have anything that would close a portal, right?
Do you have a closed portal spell?
Oh, you know what? I do. It's right next to my win the game spell.
Right. Yeah. Without that, you're kind of up shit creek here without a paddle.
SOL as they say, the great
Yes.
Magistar say.
Well, I say before
Well, we're
We jump
wasting time
in.
talking here while a possibly dangerous genie gets away.
was in the portal, and
Uh,
this is not
Huh.
in the portal.
what?
So
Well, I can only assume that he's trying to deceive these people into becoming their leader. He'll come back, perhaps with more people with him,
Hmm.
or creatures.
What worries me more is a persistent rift between dimensions or planes of existence beneath a town, of which the populace has grown rather fond of Dudarin.
I don't
worry
really
if we
want to
leave
go
this portal-
walking
What
into
else is
the
in this room?
plane of fire.
The room looks like a dungeon room. So there is like a long set of rebar here. Let me show you.
Are there any of those those nuclear silhouettes of like people cowering before they were completely incinerated?
Not quite, but you do see burn marks around the actual like portal itself. So the portal would be like around about here, right? And there's a sort of radiating out charcoal like burnt marks, and also the bars here that come out of the ground are like bent in the opposite direction. As far as other things go, you think you see like a pile of ash over in the corner that might have been like a chair at some point. It has like a little piece of wood that's all burnt black kind of hanging out of it, and that's it pretty much. The rest of it's just a
Oh.
cobblestone empty room.
Looking
Portal is like behind the iron bars that would act as a cell.
Yes.
looking through the portal, like what can I see?
You can't see into it. As you stare, the first thing you note is that the heat makes you like your eyeballs uncomfortable almost. And another thing, you see kind of like a warping image of like reds in different hues melding in and out of one another.
Well, what do we do?
Well, I don't think we can just leave this here.
Prophecy stated a regal or kingly figure proceeding down a set of stairs followed by 3 disciples. If this is not where the gods are leading us, I do not know where.
I don't think your god said anything about going into the plane of fire. We can just destroy the portal.
We
Yes, Dudaran, but
can't. We
Perhaps
cannot
this is a
destroy
chance
the
for
portal.
redemption from our earlier mishap here.
What if we put like boards over it?
Are you serious?
Have you
Would
ever
it work?
told Meneltierin and Ivan the story of Volume? Because I don't think you have you?
No, I don't think
No.
we have.
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
I
think
didn't regale me the tale.
So. I guess
I
not.
I would have regaled it without saying that Darren
All of
smashed
us.
apart an altar.
Right.
Strategically left that part out.
Listen,
Dude,
there,
Darren, we
there are
cannot...
reasons I shouldn't be in the plane of fire. Most
Why
of them
are
being
you
the god
so
of fire.
Why are you so averse to being in the plane of fire? I mean, granted it's hot, but...
Do I know? Did I ever learn the name of the god?
I believe that you did, yes.
The Red Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly because the Red Queen hates me.
Huh. Would I have gathered any of that kind of information from my prophecy at all through my journey?
No, you
No,
have not.
okay.
You saw a tale of gods battling with one another, but no specific names.
Okay. Uh-huh. Well, that is not good. Red Queen's wrath is not one you bring upon yourself. However, stars bring us here. Perhaps Zai is right. This is a chance of redemption of some sort. Or to finish what you started.
Dude, I didn't mean to start anything.
I didn't mean it. Real Dudaran slips back for a minute, single tear, back to Hero Dudaran.
Perhaps it's even a second chance at redemption. Wasn't it the plane of fire that the information we provided to Theo referenced?
Yes. And he wouldn't let us go because I pissed off the Red Queen.
As you say this here, and all of you are talking, you notice something about the portal. For a brief moment, its flames, which are red and orange, suddenly turn like a bright white for a second. The heat becomes unbearable, actually to the point where all of you, on instinct, just kind of take a step back from it. And then the flames turn back, but the portal begins to wilt, and it gets smaller and smaller.
Oh
He
no.
takes care of itself.
I think we should go in. I do not think the populace above will be rather happy to learn that their infinite heat source has disappeared.
I jump into the portal.
Oh.
I follow after him.
Last one's rotten egg.
I'm a rotten egg, evidently.
Is everybody going?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
Such a bad idea. Is it elemental plane of fire? That's like level 10, right?
It's a level.
Harder or weaker than Geofax's Infinite Dungeon?
I like how Monday's group TPK'd, and we decided to go into the plane of fire.
And
It's a
we
week
are
of TPKs.
going-
I'm not wearing
strong.
my armor.
the only
Fuck.
way to fight bare-chested. Should possibly consider multi-classing into a barbarian.
As you burst through onto the other side, you see what looks like a desolate, burned city spread out into two of you. It looks very familiar. Here, in all of its memory, is Volume, just completely torched. All of its wooden buildings destroyed, but its walls remain, and so too does like parts of its castle, which are currently surrounding you. It's like you're at the center of it almost, maybe a courtyard or something like that. And here, you see the genie once again. He's standing very close by to you as you come out of the portal here. He is but right here. He
Oh,
has
shit.
next to him what appears to be something else.
More fucking genies.
A fire elemental is next to him, a being of pure flame. And you can see the genie has his hand outstretched, and a siphoning magical energy is leaving the portal, which is behind you all, and going into his palm. And as you come through here, that siphoning suddenly stops as he is shocked to see you there for a second, and he looks down at you with a face of malice. The portal still remains. All around you is just like chaotic, destroyed ruins in all directions. What do you guys want to do?
We're rushing and
Magic
attacking him.
missile?
I should also mention that the sky is like literally like red
Fire.
with black
Just
clouds and flame falls from it and everything. The ground is like a dirt of like slightly hot, dark red, as though iron soaks the very soil. Sorry, what was that you wanted to do?
Magic missile?
Oh, please. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Please hit the fire elemental. Because I can't hit that.
Meneltiern wouldn't know that and would be very much more concerned with the immediate threat. Okay, that one decided to go in the wrong direction. I'm gonna just kind of... Oh, where the hell did it go?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Jesus. Did that roll?
No, it just kind of like
Appeared?
disappeared into a different plane.
Okay.
I will also be joining Ivan and attacking this guy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
10, okay. Let's see here. Alright, go ahead and make your attacks. And since you're surprising him, you can do so with advantage. Just channeling a spell.
I assume a 21 is a hit.
21 certainly hits.
Okay, well, 16.
16,
Thank
okay.
God for advantage.
Let's
Praise
say
16 misses.
4 damage.
I need to stop saying thank God and start saying praise Yendu.
That's the one.
I'll actually make a second attack too.
Can I throw a couple throwing stars at him?
Absolutely.
17 hits, yeah.
You'll get advantage on the first star that you throw.
Oh,
God
that's not gonna
damn
hit.
Yeah, here's the thing, Charlie. If I like actually multi-class into Barbarian,
Another 5 then?
I wouldn't get any buffs.
Really?
My Constitution is +2. That's it.
How much damage was that, Ivan?
5.
5.
Well, shit.
My highest was a 12. I'm assuming none of those hit.
So that definitely misses. Okay, everybody's back into the combat again. We will resume with the previous order, and the Efreet looks down at you. Let's roll to find out where this flaming elemental is on the order. Okay.
Got
Mm,
a 0.
He
That's
sees
more
me.
than 0.
And understands that he is outmatched and runs away.
Mm-hmm. He screams like a little girl and pees his pants.
It's nice knowing you, chat.
Cat isn't even here to witness us die.
Wonder Group wasn't with Ivan's brother, was it?
No, it's Thursday.
Okay. I was just wondering which brother died first.
He disengages and runs over here.
What a
and
bitch.
next up, it's your turn, Zai.
Okay, I guess I'll run after him. Can't quite get in range, so I'll catch up or close to, and then I'll try to throw 2 of my throwing stars as I yell at the coward to stop running.
Stop being a
Okay, so
little
one's
bitch.
gonna miss, and one is 24.
That'll hit.
For 6 damage.
6. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright. Next up after that is this elemental creature. So I'm just doing a little bit of a basic edition here.
Is
All
he
right.
still damaged from when the previous
Yes.
group? Yeah, okay, good. Just want to make sure that carried over from like 10 sessions ago.
10 sessions.
The fire elemental, he's still damaged from the altar battle, right?
That was something different, wasn't it?
This comes over towards you. And let's see.
You're talking about the genie. The human elemental.
You know, I'm just
Hmm.
hoping. Maybe he forgot to heal up.
I mean, it's only been like 2 months.
He,
Or
he
longer.
Didn't sleep. Even fire elementals don't sleep, don't you know?
Okay, here we go. A single attack at first towards you, Ivan. And that is a 11. That
For
hits.
the miss.
Okay, and a single attack onto Darren. Darren does a 17 hit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
My AC is currently 10.
Wow. Well, you kind of got lucky. You take 7 points of damage. And, let's see here.
Yeah.
It reaches out with a hand and an arm that vaguely resembles like humanoid shape made out of flame and reaches for Zai, missing. But when it grabs onto you, you only barely pull yourself away, feeling the searing heat, and then watch as your common clothes go up in flames.
Not my
Let's
pants.
see.
Darren is now completely naked.
At the start of your turn, you will take fire damage, and it'll take a action to put out the fire if you so choose. Darren, it's your turn. Do you want to put out the fire with an action? First, let's do your damage, which is
1,000,000.
4 damage.
I'm down.
Okay.
Well, fuck.
That was exactly enough. Someone kick dirt on me, please.
Okay.
We all kicked
Mental's
dirt
here.
onto Darren. We don't know why.
It's your turn.
Put out the fire.
Okay. Well, I can't help him, so
Okay.
I'm gonna. I just want to kind of get in between the genie, like the genie's line of sight in the portal. So just
Gotcha.
stop any kind of funny business he's got going on there. I'm gonna magic missile at him again. Fuck this genie.
Please do so.
No, I don't. No, I don't want to actually fuck the genie.
Okay. Well, I wasn't
Damn
gonna
it.
judge or anything. Not gonna kink shame you.
Damn it. Well, I'm gonna
That
Ah! Okay, wait. So those two were ones, but that last one definitely needs to be re-rolled. Gotta zoom out. So 3,
Three.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 damage towards this genie at the back.
Yes, motherfucking piece of shit genie.
Okay, your shots land out, but it's still alive. Is that your turn, Mentaltier?
How does he look?
Well, he's looking pretty beaten right now, but he is still standing.
Mhm.
And you would gather. Roll insight for me.
Sure. Let's see. A roll that was moving the dice. No, that's an 11.
Okay. You know he's badly beat, but you're not sure by how much, and you don't know how much fight he has left in him.
And now that we're kind of like here now, we're not like just coming out of the portal. What can I kind of see in the surroundings?
It's like you're in a large castle courtyard, except there's kind of like a crater at its center, which is where you guys had come from. So dirt sort of rises up a little bit towards what looks like broken walls in
Okay.
every direction.
Okay. That it.
Ivan, your turn.
Darren's still on fire.
Is Darren still on fire? Let's roll luck for him. If he gets a 15 or higher, his tumble to the ground put out the flames by some miracle. And that's a 2. His body is on fire. Sigh.
Everybody's going down. Alright, can I shift him over here? And then I guess cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, sure. Alright.
He's a heavy motherfucker.
As you roll him, the flames go out and your healing magic courses through him. Roll your heal.
8 HP.
8 HP, Darren.
I like it.
H.
Is that your turn, Ivan?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, this creature steps forward towards you here and makes a couple of attacks, Sai.
Hey guys.
Does a 20 hit?
Yeah.
How about a 29?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, this might kill me outright.
Outright?
Well, it depends how hard he hits.
You take 11 damage for the first one,
Oh no.
and you take 14 for the second one.
Alright, so I'm down.
Okay.
The second attack is after I'm down, so that one...
You have one
Failed
failed death save. Next up is your turn. You have one failed save already. Don't roll a 1.
Right. Whoop.
Oh, it's a
The
13.
beast is slain.
That was insanely close.
2 of 1. I was gonna cry a little.
Was it close?
It was.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was on a 1 and
almost
it
a one.
flopped over at the last second.
Figure.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, God bless here. We'll see what happens. Next up is this flaming elemental, and it looks over in your direction, Ivan, and goes to touch you.
Bad touch. Bad touch.
The bad touch is coming. A 14. Does that hit?
Bad touch misses.
Okay, a second one. Oh, even worse. A 9.
Oh, damn. That was also a miss.
It's your turn, Darren. You have a few health and are laying on the ground. You've been shuffled away from the beast.
Trying to think my options here
Yeah, if you need a minute, please do.
are very few. Let's stand up first of all, and I guess attack a fire elemental because I'm not just gonna let that genie get a free hit on me.
Okay.
$18?
18 does hit the elemental. Roll damage.
7.
Okay. The
Probably reduced.
form of this creature does kind of recoil as you hit it, but it doesn't seem like your strikes are very effective.
Not as much.
Is that your turn?
Unfortunately.
Meneltier, you're up.
Okay. Well, got a little bits of magic left. I'm gonna go up to the fire elemental and use hypnotic gaze.
Interesting. What kind of condition is that?
Charm.
Charm. And does it make a saving throw?
Wisdom.
Okay, here we go. A wisdom saving throw. It has no bonuses. And it rolls an 11.
Yay!
You give it a look and it freezes in place, locked in gaze with you, and does not move. Is that your turn?
Without breaking eye contact, I say to the other two, go after the genie.
Ivan, you're up.
Alright, seeing Meltiran has this one distracted, I will go after the genie.
Okay.
And I can't get in range.
Oh, you son
Can,
of a bitch.
can I
you
get in range to cast Spare the Dying on Zai?
stumpy ass legs.
Oh.
What's
Yes.
the range of
Yes,
that?
you can.
I do so.
Okay, so Zai, you are now stabilized. That was your turn, Ivan, unless you got some other stuff up your sleeve.
That is it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Reaching down, this genie grabs a hold of Zai's corpse and says, "Elvish meddler," and throws his body as it flies across the red dirt here. Okay, it doesn't actually go too far. Zai, you land over here,
Weak.
and you take a failed death save. And then he steps over in your direction and swings at you once.
Am I not stabilized anymore then?
No, because your body is now just taking a bunch of damage. That is... Does a 23 hit you?
A 23 hits.
You take 13 points of damage, Ivan.
Oh my god.
Are you still up?
I'm really glad I used that Cure Wounds on myself before.
Okay, well that is his turn. Zai, a death saving throw, please.
Before you roll, what do you add here?
He
Just
has one fail.
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't roll the one. Oh, there's another fail.
Not a 1.
Could have
Two
been worse.
fails. The creature over here, the elemental, doesn't have any saves it can make, right? It's just stuck.
Nope.
Okay.
It is fucking stuck.
Darren, it's your turn.
Fuck this elemental.
So, what exactly have you done to the elemental?
He's
I had
locked it in a hypnotic gaze. It can make no actions or do anything. It's just stuck there staring at him.
It's incapacitated and visibly dazed.
Yeah.
Un-
So you
so
can just
me
walk
hitting
past
it is a bad idea.
Yes.
It'll break out. Yeah. You've
Awesome.
seen
I'm
him
gonna
do
go
this trick
hit.
before.
I'm gonna go hit this guy then.
Okay.
Taste my axe, bitch.
Can you
Yeah.
reroll
That
that, please?
wasn't a roll.
There's my axe.
My
bitch.
internet,
Puts the
man.
dice lightly on the table.
That is a 19.
19 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, Christ.
6 damage
6 points of damage.
with added insult.
Okay.
Because he called him a bitch.
Mental Tyrann, it's your turn. What are you gonna do? Maintain the gaze?
Is that an action? I think. Yeah. Yeah, maintain the effect. I'm gonna use my action to maintain the effect.
You're up, Ivan.
Ooh.
I cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, go ahead and roll that heal.
Okay. Got 12 HP back.
Alright,
Okay.
alright.
Is that your turn?
Alright. Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
Boy.
I could use that next turn if you're for Great.
If you're offering.
He makes 2 attacks, one at each of you. This one is for Ivan first. That's a 21, Ivan.
That doesn't hit, right?
Yeah, no, 30 AC. I mean, what are you talking about?
Oh boy.
Get on my level.
Ivan, you take 13 points of damage.
Okay, still up.
Holy
Still
shit.
fine.
Dude, Aaron, one attack towards you. It's a 21 as well. Does that hit?
Mm-mm-mm.
No? No, you're fine. Okay. You take 17 points of damage.
Guess who's down?
Is that before or after the hero's discount?
Yeah, he ran out of coupons.
Right,
And,
coupons. Damn it.
Zai? Oh, fuck. It's your turn, Zai.
Oh, this is it.
I believe in you. Roll that 20.
Comes up. Oh, fuck.
No!
No, Zai's
Oh
dead.
no.
Oh, there I go.
The creature is stuck. And Dudarn, it's your turn. You need to make a death save.
Does Tilva not want to intervene this time?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay.
Well,
one
I'm not
pass.
dead yet.
Metal Tyrann, you're up.
I maintain my hold.
Okay. Ivan, your turn.
Is honestly the most
I'm
useful
making
thing I
attack.
can do.
18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Does a solid 8 damage.
Okay,
Bonus action, I attack again.
please do. Oh, fuck.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
oh, I like that die roll. It's a fun die roll.
shit.
Yeah, okay. I can take that. 13 more.
Fuck this genie.
How do you want to hit this guy?
Oh,
Alright, like, he's no longer 14 feet tall, so I could hit him, like...
Yeah, he's 8 feet tall. He's just like a
I mean-
particularly tall combatant.
Yeah, like, is he, like, still leaning down from that last swing that could just, like, clonk him in the chin?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, he swings his sword down and manages to, strike Dudarin on the backswing here. So he's leaned over a bit. And then you want to...
Smash him in the head.
Sure, okay, your hammer comes swinging up and you uppercut him and his chin just like bonks up and you see the rest of his teeth, one of them previously knocked ajar, now just the whole set flies out and his eyes just lose all their lifelessness as his body kind of like careens back and then falls to the ground.
thank
As
Christ.
he lays there in the dirt, you see his flesh begins to roil almost, and then bursts into flame, and all of his form disappears into fire.
Ivan, take care of Dudarin and
cast-
Zai.
I cast Spare the Dying on Zudarin and then Zai.
Okay. When you get over to Zai, it appears that he's no longer moving.
Because he's a monk of the long death, is he just faking it?
It's just
Is he just falling
Is
asleep
he
and it seems
faking
like
it?
he's dead?
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh.
table
Ivan.
talk, Zai.
Ivan, what's wrong?
Yes.
Would you continue playing this character at the cost of a terrible injury, given that this is your first real death?
You
Or
know
would
what?
You roll somebody new?
Considering that we're already like with a crippled Dudarin, I don't think it would do us any favors to have a second crippled character.
We don't need favors.
Fair enough.
We got the god.
As you lean down to check on Zai's body, it is clear that he has passed, and with no need for medicine, you can tell that his life has left him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna at least... I guess his body's not about to be consumed by flames.
No, it just lays there in the dirt.
Looking at Metal Tyrann and the Fire Elemental, does it seem like the Fire Elemental took a significant amount of damage before?
No, not at all. It looks almost pretty much identical to when you came out of the portal, and it's stuck here just staring at Metal Tyrann and can't do anything. Metal Tyrann's like sweating from being directly beside it constantly.
Get through the portal.
Table talk. Yeah.
Continue.
Our bodies into the portal, and then Melantiern can come through.
Running.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We'll deal with it
So-
on the other side. Heal me up, because,
I don't have any
like-
heals left.
oh, well,
All out.
we'll wait until I come back to consciousness.
Yeah. I will attempt to drag Zagataka and Dudarin out of the portal.
Okay. You pull their bodies through and place them on the other side.
I'm gonna. Mental Tyrann is gonna give him like, unless the portal appears to be shrinking, Mental Tyrann is gonna give him a solid like minute before disengaging and bolting for the
Okay.
portal.
On the other side, you wait for a brief moment and then break the spell. And in this creature's daze, you slip from beyond it and disappear beyond the portal. You're all on the other side.
Did we see anything on the other side that seemed like it was keeping the portal open? Like any magical artifacts or anything?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Quick, I suggest we get them upstairs before anything else comes through.
Go. Start, dragging them up the stairs and very slowly making our way through the.
Can I carry Zai? Is
You
that
can.
possible?
It's not something that you're very good at, but with enough time, it'll be possible.
Do we want the townsfolk to see their hero collapsed?
Well, the hero give is all defeating the demon thing. I mean, does it seem like the cave is at any point like at risk of collapse? Like the portal's like keeping this like weird cave open?
No, it doesn't seem like it. It looks
Okay.
structurally sound.
So I'm gonna suggest to Metal Tyrion that we kind of like. I'm trying to remember what the layout was before. I guess is there like a platform a good way away from the portal that we can kind of rest?
You could go like a bit up the stairs to get away from the heat.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go up the stairs a little bit, and you guys are gonna wait for how long? You plan to
Taking
wait?
a short rest, watching the portal the whole time.
How long does it take for Dudarin to regain consciousness?
Okay, so a short rest. Let's see here. Staring at the portal for this 30 minutes here, nothing seems to come out of it. And you can all roll whatever hit die you so please.
What is
Even me?
What are my hit die?
Not you, Dudarin.
Yeah.
D.
If I remember, do you add your con per hit die or just?
I think it's
flat?
per.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's. I'm back to full.
1, that's 4, 5, 10.
The two of you are well healed when you get out of your rest here, summoning up what might you can. However, Dudarin has not awoken. It seems that I will not be waking either.
Well, I guess we sit and wait until Dudarin comes to.
Just running through everybody's belongings. We didn't have a potion of healing by any chance, did we? I don't recall.
I don't think so. If we did, we probably already used it.
Check your inventories, folks.
I don't.
I don't really have much on me.
I've
I think the only things you guys might want off me are my like tiny bits of money and my my staff.
Rough.
Could buy a couple questions with that. I missed Sai already.
It was a big loss.
So what are you guys gonna do here on the stairs?
Wait for Dudarin to regain consciousness.
Okay.
Observe the portal.
I'm gonna make my way back down to the portal. Does it seem any different?
No, it seems exactly as it was before.
I'm gonna head through for a moment. See if there's anything on the other side or if that
The
thing is
fire
gone.
elemental is on the other side. Going through will be your death.
I'm going to jump through the portal and prepare to be attacked.
Watching him go through the portal, I just shake my head incessantly.
On the other side of the portal, you find yourself in the same spot. The fire elemental seems to be gone, and the genie's remains are no longer. It has gone up into flames as well.
Okay, so taking a quick look around, is there anything here of interest?
Oh, you do see what looks to be the remains of a formidable, well, perhaps once formidable castle, which has been toppled, destroyed, and set ablaze. All around you, there is a heat to the world. There's red sand in every direction. The sky is red with clouds of dark soot, and the whole place is just destroyed.
Okay. I'll head back through the portal.
Okay. There goes my d4. You return to Mental Tyranny.
Well, it's gone. All that's left is that ruined city.
Interesting. Can I just kind of like magically observe the portal like until Dudarin regains consciousness? Can I like gain any sort of knowledge or anything from it?
It doesn't seem to change, so no, there's no new development with it.
Okay.
You can still watch it to make sure that nothing comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Waiting for Dudarin to come around, you guys all sit here for quite some time, and it takes about 3 hours until he finally opens his eyes once again.
Welcome back.
I'm like noticing where we are. I take it we won.
At,
Not all of us.
at a cost.
What do you mean?
Zagataka. He didn't make it.
As soon as he says it, I like jump up and scramble, trying to get to Zai's body.
His body lays there on this landing in the middle of the stairs.
Just like slam my fist on like the stone. Damn it! Like tears trying to form. You're my best friend, Zai. Eventually I'll get up and look back and say, what about the portal?
It remains open.
Just this
Anything we can...
burned city on the other side.
Yeah, that was Valu.
Or at least what's left of it.
We'll have to deal with this later.
Indeed.
Care of Zai comes first.
Absolutely.
I will pick up his body. And are we at the top of this stairs? Like in the...
Bottom.
Yeah, you're near the bottom. You have a couple
I
flights
will
to get to
carry
the
it.
top.
I'll carry it to the top of the stairs.
Okay. Carry your way up there. Is everybody following in tow?
Mm-hmm.
And you get up towards this small opening.
This is gonna be awkward.
I'll go through first.
Okay. Stepping out onto the other side, you can see what looks like a large townsfolk that are that are attentively watching the opening. And as you make your step outside, they cheer. Some of them have set up with like food and things like that. It's clear they've been waiting for a long time, but they let out exclamations and plenty of joy as your face finally appears from beyond the little crack in the wall.
How should we get Zai out?
I'll get him through as far as I can, and I'll have to rely on Ivan to pull him out.
All right.
I'll actually like call through the hole. It's like, Ivan, get someone to help you.
Trying to ask one of the townspeople help. Now, do they have a stretcher or something?
Sure. A man nearby comes over towards you, and you can see it's the guy that had the cudgel from before, and he leans down and says, "Oh, what is it? What can I do to help?"
Eager beaver.
One of my companions didn't make it. We need to get his body through.
He nods at you with a saddened look on his face. He'll go over to the opening and help you if you go over there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess we'll pull Zai's body through.
Right. Partially his body is shoved through, and then the two of you manage to retrieve him on the other side. Are the rest of you going through to the other side as well?
Yep.
Okay.
You first, Meltier.
Thank you. I go through.
Okay.
I will squeeze through after him.
Right. Takes a moment, but you've been through this area before and twist your way through the small chasm. As you get to the other side, there are cheers and exclamation, but at the same time, it's muted a little bit as everybody sees Sai's body there being held.
I will raise a hand to silence the crowd.
Everybody silences immediately.
I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna guess he's a cop of some sorts. Because it's easier. Is the cop still near us?
The guard.
The guy with the cudgel?
Guard?
The
Yeah.
cop.
Yes, he's there, and he's holding Zai along with Ivan.
Is there a priest in town? Or anywhere we could do?
I think I know where we can bury him. Cause just table talk real quick. I was with them when they buried Mithranbor, correct?
I believe, yeah, they were carrying his body when you came to them, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Perhaps we can bury him next to his other fallen companion. He's not too far from here, if I am correct.
Yeah, but nevertheless, and I'll like say this like loudly for the crowd. He gave his life for us and this town. He deserves a proper burial, in the very least.
Customs of the Wood Elves dictate.
You see that people start to make their way through the crowd and start to leave offerings at your feet. First, somebody lays down a piece of cloth and half a loaf of bread, and then somebody else kneels down and leaves a couple of coins before stepping back into the crowd, and then somebody else comes by and leaves what looks like a little necklace, and they just start placing things around you all while you're here by the cave entrance.
What are Wood Elves rituals? I never shared much.
Customs of the Wood Elves dictate they're to be buried typically close to their homeland, but as circumstance would arise, we are not very near. But lack of that, near the woods, buried with a small sapling or budding plant atop their grave, as we did for your previous friend, Mithranbor.
Then that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Outside of town, you know there's the burial that you had placed Mithranbor at, and the people will help you carry the body as you wander over there.
Did someone let me borrow a winter coat?
I'm sure it's provided for you by the townsfolk.
They're so intimidated, they just assume that he walks around like that all the time.
Never gets cold. They carry Zai's body out from past a couple of buildings and then past the tents, and eventually get towards the forest edge. Here it's cold once again. People shiver a little bit, but they bundle together for warmth. And you can see where Mithranbor was buried. If I remember correctly, you guys hadn't left anything like a gravestone or anything, right?
It was some kind of plant placed atop. Zai found it, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what kind of plant, though. I don't remember.
Okay. You get to the site here, and it seems as though the plant has withered to some degree. It has no greenery to it, but you see like a small sort of wiry wooden shoot that comes out from the little hill here, which is Mithranbor's grave.
Can I clean up the area with prestidigitation? Like,
Sure.
clear the snow a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do so.
The townsfolk get to digging, and it's tough work because of how frozen the ground is, but eventually they do come up with enough space to lay him down.
I did help them.
Okay. Yeah, so you work alongside them, and soon have a grave ready for Zai. As his body is laid down there,
I take the gold out of his pocket.
You take the gold out of his pocket.
Oh my god.
He's got platinum on him.
If you want, I've got 2 platinum, 17 gold, 8 silver, and 6 copper.
Let's at the very least put. I don't know if this is a custom, but put 2 gold coins over his eyes.
If that is your wish. So 2 platinum, 11 gold. What were the final numbers?
Oh no, it's not 2 platinum. It'd be 15 gold.
Okay.
As you
And
lay
then-
side down here, you take what things that you need from him and also place offerings and things like that, and people put items into the grave, and that's when you notice something. One of his possessions, his staff, is missing. You remember having brought it to the other side of the portal, but somewhere along the way, dragging it here, it disappeared. Perhaps a peasant has taken it or something like that.
I'll call out. Like, has anyone seen his staff?
People look amongst themselves and then shake their heads, and nobody seems to know where it is.
I'm going to run back looking for it.
Okay. You run back looking around for it. Go ahead and make for me an investigation or perception check, your choice.
Let's go perception. That's a +0.
Okay.
15.
You look around and you give it a very hard look with your new keen eyes here and find nothing. The staff is gone.
I will, like, return to the gravesite with my head down.
By the way, do Darren can see into the ethereal plane? He doesn't see any like die ghosts or anything, or
No.
okay, just wondering.
Instead of his staff, I will remove the greatsword I've still been carrying and lay it into the grave.
Okay. So you place your greatsword along with him, and the cop looks over in your direction and says,
Cop.
well, he kind of grabs his shovel.
Are there any trees nearby?
You can see trees. Since you've buried Mithranbor on the edge of the forest, trees spread out all towards the north and down towards the west as well. There's a very large forest here.
What kind of trees?
They're like boreal trees, like pine
Okay.
and things like that.
Can I get seeds from them?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go do that while they're.
You find pine cones
shoveling.
on the ground, some of which are kind of like covered in snow, and fluff them off. Put them in the
I bring them
grave.
back. I bring them back to plant atop.
Okay,
I'll do a prayer, before we cover up Zai's body.
sure. Prayer to Tilva, or what?
I'll also, like, quietly myself say, like, a small prayer to Autumn.
Okay. Say your prayers, and the man next to you begins to file in dirt into the hole. And sooner or later, you see Zai is no more. His features covered up. He's retaken by the earth. All the possessions that you could give him. His grave rests there next to another wood elf that fought valiantly with you at the same site some time ago.
And, gnome.
And a gnome. Yes. Although I don't think you buried them in the same place.
No.
No, his
Well,
brother took
because-
his
No.
body.
Well, no, his brother's body was lost to the
It burned
fire.
in this. In
Oh,
the
right.
Oh.
You guys had to
castle.
bail out the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Ash is somewhere really close by.
I'm sure we put, like, a token.
Well, they're in
Or
another
something.
dimension, actually.
Either way. Was... After we finish, I'll just look at the crowd that has gathered. And say, in the memory of our fallen friends, we will rebuild Baloo and make it a place that they would be proud of.
You see, even amidst all the death and emotion that is going on, that off just a little bit past the first row of people, there's the man in the white robes, and he turns around with a humph and then walks away into the distance. And you
Fuck
see the
that guy.
nobleman nearby, but he bows his head in respects to you as well. And everybody kind of takes a moment of silence there. And then when everybody finishes this moment of silence, and you hear other prayers which are mentioned under calm breath, somebody eventually turns to you and says, "What now, Dudarin?"
Well, first of all, there are a few issues.
A few issues.
We need to bring order to the town before we can continue.
People kind of
Wait.
look to one another and then turn back, hoping to hear you say more.
I'll like lean into Meneltier and Ivan. Like, should we tell them about the portal?
Not yet, I don't. All in good time.
Right. Well,
Best not worry them at the moment. Mentioned that the cave in which the genie resided was dangerous, though, so they do not venture there themselves.
right. Now I'll turn back to the crowd. The genie is slain, though the cave is dangerous, and I would hope that all of you would avoid it, at least until we can sort something out.
People murmur amongst themselves, but then eventually turn back towards you with nods and recognition. It seems like they're all going to obey you as best they can.
And, trying to think. I do not know what quarrels everyone was having, but if this has shown anything, no matter where we're from, we should work together to solve our problems. And I'll begin walking back to Valu.
Okay. The people follow in your stead, taking... What's up?
I just want to make a point that I'm gonna stay back at the site.
Oh, okay. So the rest of you take off, and while you're headed towards Valu, somebody approaches you. You see the nobleman from before. He comes up to you, and he says, "I don't believe I had a chance to properly introduce myself. The name's Jack."
Hello, Jack. My friends call me Dude, and I'll extend a hand.
Sure. He shakes your
It's a good
hand,
hand.
as you would expect from a nobleman. He is all manners, but a little bit more casual than you'd expect. He says, "If you need a right-hand man, let me know. I should be here for a while."
With all due respect, my right-hand man has fallen today.
The same. I plan to see the city return to what it used to be.
I hope to see it better.
Yes, it's not a bad idea. I'll follow your lead. Sorry. Perhaps this is not the time to speak of things like this. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
He steps away and melds back into the crowd, and everyone follows you as you make your way back towards Valu. Meanwhile, back at the gravesite, Meneltier, you're still here.
Right. So, what I would like to do is this. Mental
Get
Tiern
those 2
doesn't.
pieces of gold from his eyes.
Dig up the grave, take his clothing, take everything.
Oh, these underwear could be
Oh hey,
sold
Metal
for 2
Tier, where'd you get
copper.
that great sword?
Oh my god. No. Okay.
This could
Mental
be refurbished.
Mental Tiern doesn't do this often, but what he would like to do is essentially attempt to make contact, kind of with his god, with Yendu, and see if he, knowing that Zai was a great soul, he wants to see if he can locate any information about him by meditating there at the site.
So you're gonna make prayers to Yendu.
Essentially.
Please make a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom roll.
All right. Let's see what we get, boys.
I actually like teared up a bit during that whole speech.
Yeah, dude. Zai's been through a lot.
11.
11. Okay. You sit down there and make your prayers to the most antisocial elder god of all existence. And he doesn't call out to you. And
I'm
you
like,
are
the
unable
one-
to grasp his presence at all.
I mean, I'm his prophet, no? I thought maybe a little bit.
Get some daddy issues coming in.
Okay, so that doesn't work. Would I know if there's any way to kind of sense the, like, any kind of anything about a great soul? Like, is there anything that is kind of like that makes them stand out that I would be able to kind of search for?
Ah. Fortunately, no. You know bits about their myth and everything, but when they die just like any other humans.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Okay.
look around, there's no real change or anything like that perceptible. Pick up.
Mental Tiern dies, stands up, kind of gives a bow to grave, and begins heading back to town.
There is one thing that you feel.
Son of a bitch.
As you bow and look to the 2 graves of these 2 wood elves on the edge of the Elfwood Forest, you feel like death is close. Feel like morbidity that hangs on the air. Amidst all of your triumph, you feel like there are bad things around the corner. This feeling kind of sinks into your gut as you stare at like the forest here and these 2 dead elves on the outside. One of whom you knew to some degree in your travels.
I maybe like shiver, shake it off a little bit, and make my way back.
Okay. You return back to town. What have you all been doing while you're here?
I'm probably like gathered my like coat and my armor again,
Okay.
and did my best to return the gifts that people had like left at our feet.
Okay. Some of them see this and refuse, others you just simply don't know who to give the gifts to. So it becomes a bit of a difficult process.
Can I try and find that white robed guy?
Sure. Make a perception check. Wow. Getting atop a steed towards the very edge of town, you just barely spy this white-robed man getting ready to leave. He has thrown on a heavy backpack and is kind of getting onto his saddle right now as you see him.
Okay.
Just wasted
Can I get
no
over to him
time.
and like grab the reins of his horse to stop him?
Oh, sure. Make an athletics check to get to him before he takes off. You have to get at least a 10 or higher. Oh, fuck.
Just enough.
Okay, you're barely on the edge here. He, like, kips the horse, and it neighs, getting ready to take off, and you grab a hold of one of the straps here. And the horse goes to a quick pause, and this man looks over at you, irate, and then sees who it is, and a look of something else comes over his face. What do you want to say?
Do I get a sense of what something else is?
Sure, roll insight.
Oh,
No.
that's not. No.
You don't know.
Don't think I ever caught your name.
He looks down and says, "It's unimportant. I have places to be, dwarf. Let go of my horse."
Seemed quite angered when Dudarin mentioned his connection to Tilda.
False prophet, if you ask me. You'll lead these people astray. Mark my words, nothing good will come of this.
Oh, and who would you have them follow?
Me, the church, obviously. Now let go. I'll have no more words with you, dwarf.
Do I see any kind of markings or holy symbols on him?
Oh, interesting. Make another perception check, please.
Nat 20 doesn't roll over?
No, not quite. But you don't have to roll too high here. Ugh. Anyway,
22.
Just from slapping that shit out of the park. Looking around, you do see that there are some holy symbols on this man, and because of the fact that you're from another world, you don't know immediately what they are, but you imprint them into your mind so that you can recall them. And you see that he has a holy symbol on him, which appears to be a golden bar.
Okay.
You're not sure to whom that belongs, but it's clear the way it's like attached to his necklace and everything like that, that it's
Right, but everything looks like a holy man. It's not like this is like some kind of demon worshiper guy. These are like, demonic symbols. They look religious.
The feel that you get
I
from
guess.
it is, yeah, it's like a proper clerical symbol.
Okay. I release the reins, and as I do so, I say, travel safe.
He scowls at you one last time before hitting his horse with the side of his, and off it goes, and he takes off this lone rider in white into the snow.
Okay. I also would have imprinted his face to remember who he is.
Sure, yeah, you remember his balding head and his braided white beard and everything like that.
Which direction is he riding off to?
He rides off down towards the south.
Towards the south.
Instead of the road towards the west.
Alright, I make a note of that and then head back.
Okay. You return, and people are gathered around presenting food to you, Dudarin, that you might eat, and a feast of sorts is being held right now.
I will ask them to wait for my friends.
Okay. Everyone pauses their eating and waits there until everybody returns, and Meneltiern comes back, and so too does Ivan in a moment.
When they return, I will stand up and give a toast to those we have lost and to the future they will allow us to have.
Everybody holds up their glass for a brief moment, and you hear everyone goes, "Aye. Aye."
I slam it back.
Everybody drinks in unison, and a large feast takes up the rest of the evening. You see familiar figures here, this very diligent man with the cudgel. He tends to stay by your side so long as you'll let him, and this nobleman is never too far off. Jack is always kind of within reach. You can see that he seems to travel with a retinue of people that look like they're fairly well armed. See, it's almost like he has bodyguards with him, like mercenaries that are never more than a few feet away from him. But they sit down and they eat with everybody else, of course, and so does he. Despite being a noble, he's here seated in the dirt in a suit which is probably worth hundreds of gold pieces, just eating simple stew out of a bowl.
At some point during the feast, can I have a private word with him?
Sure,
With
yeah.
with Meneltiern and Ivan.
Okay, so yeah, you take away your three companions here and go to speak with Jack, and he tells his men to wait for a second and goes to speak with you. Where are you going to talk? At the base of the hill, away from everyone?
Just around, just at a building.
Sure. Okay, yeah, you go up to one of the wooden buildings.
Just far
which
enough.
No one's really around. There,
Jack,
you
are
want
you?
to speak with me?
Yes. Are you able to get more men?
My house still has some of its wealth left over. I can muster up some hands if you need. Why? What's the plan, Dudarin?
I'll look at Meltier and Ivan and be like, "Sorry, guys."
Dudarin, should I explain?
Probably a good idea.
Right. Well, Jack, as it happens, cause of the heat of this area is a rift to the plane of the elemental fire.
He just nods and says, "That makes sense."
I kind of like confused a little bit that a human is understanding this so well.
When he sees your confusion, he says, "Oh, sorry, I've studied a great deal of magic in my time."
Fascinating. Well,
Can I insight that real quick?
Please.
Meneltier buys it. He doesn't even.
Someone
He's
said
feel-
magic. I'm already wet. Like
That's an 8.
an 8. Okay. You're not sure if he's telling the truth or not. If he's bluffing, it's a pretty decent bluff, but you really can't tell in this time.
I mean, I'm trying to trust him here, so I need to.
Anyway, it is a rift, and as such, cannot be closed at this time. It exists in the cave below this very hill mound. We think that perhaps we may need to venture in there once again. Perhaps that is what Dudarin is asking you to muster wealth for. I'm not entirely sure. He's not shared his intentions with me as of yet.
Oh,
Well, I intend to follow your plans, and I don't mean to
I
guess,
just
overstep my bounds here, but that genie did turn invisible, so I think that blocking it in some way would be a good...
Additionally, there is something that I think may be prevalent to the current situation. It would appear as though the populace of this area has taken a liking to Dudarin. Whether or not they wish for him to lead is another question entirely. But there's a slight, how should I put this, hiccup with that. That being, I believe 3 of us, great souls, and as such, disappear for weeks at a time, days at a time. It's rather random, but nevertheless, here entirely from this world.
I can say if you give me instructions before this happens, I can still carry them out in your stead.
well,
If you trust me that much, that is.
it's like just the 3 of us can't even watch over the portal. I was hoping there was some way we could work out something. So
I can see about attempting to close it, or getting appropriate guards. My family house has recently collapsed, and I've come into their fortune. If you would turn Volu into a proper city once again, me as one of its esteemed nobles, I'd be happy to lend you what bit of my family's fortune still remains, and perhaps the Aesop house will be large once again.
What did he just say?
So
Aesop?
perhaps
Yeah.
the Aesop house will be large once again.
Would you mind throwing that into the chat?
Sure.
Because spelling is hard.
That name sounds familiar.
Does it?
I swear we've met someone.
This is the fun part about playing a lot of fucking D&D.
I don't know. Meneltier has no fucking idea.
I swear to fuck, we've met someone named Aesop.
Now the question is this Darren saying this? Or
This is me saying this. I don't think Dudarn would remember.
Hmm.
Me and Dudarin here have played some other games, some other times and stuff.
Is that where it's from?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Either way, back to Dudarn.
Recede back into character.
So we would, well, I would very much be in your debt if you could help us here.
I'll help you rebuild this town as best I can. And as part of the deal, you will make me and my house one of the most powerful nobles, and we will be loyal to you so long as you reign. Deal?
I look to Jadarian. I'm kind of like, that kind of like seems like a good deal. Kind of look.
So, well, you're the most powerful noble if you're the only noble, then I'll stick my hand out.
He brings his hand over, but he holds it out, palm flat, in your direction before bringing it over to your hand. And he says, there's one more thing I should tell you. If we are to do this, I want trust. I've seen your character. I've watched as you battled against that shape-shifting monstrosity. There's something else that you must know about me.
And that is?
I... a necromancer. Does it trouble you to work with me?
Meneltiern gets visibly excited.
Metal Tear's tent just like rises a little more.
Oh, Zygataka would have loved you. That is of no concern of mine.
Well, good. And he goes and shakes your hand.
It is of the interest of mine. Perhaps you and I will chat when we get a chance.
I would be happy to.
And before I let go of his hand, it's like, just don't summon an army of undead, and we'll be fine.
No.
Jokingly, so.
He says,
Just laughs uncomfortably while everyone else is silent. Okay, he finishes shaking your hand, and that's it. He says, well then, no need for contract. The deal is done. I trust you, Dudarn. Tell me what you need. I'll tell you what I need. See to it that Valu becomes the power that it was once again.
Thank you, Jack.
Bows.
I will return the favor.
So what's our first order of business? Barricade up the cave there? Get a group to guard the portal?
Yes.
Okay.
At the very least, one or the other.
I have armed men with me, but they're but powerful bodyguards. There'll be nothing against, well, a genie should something else like that come through. I'll send riders out. We'll have something else here soon.
Now-
Someone to raise an alarm is enough for now.
Jack, so that leads to another question. You've observed this populace for longer than we have. What would be the best way of breaking it to them that there lies a rift to the elemental plane of fire below them? Or should we not mention it? I do not know the intelligence level of the people who live here.
Indeed. I would keep it a secret for the time being. As it is right now, very few actually know of it. If one or two townspeople get word of it, then there'll be just a few dissenting voices. People probably won't believe them. I'd say we do a good job of barricading it and leave.
Agreed.
You can spin whatever story you need to there. Perhaps it's a sacred place to you or something. We'll keep everybody out of there as best we can.
I told them it was dangerous, so that
Should be enough. I think you have will of the people here. At least the few hundred that we have right now.
Let's not stand out here in the middle of nowhere. Let's get back to the feast.
Dudarn, though, apart from the barricading of the portal, what else should be done for the city? I will leave this to your discretion.
Well, to be honest, the only thing I know are fighting and cow farming. So,
If I may, and he turns over towards you, Mithrimbor,
Meneltiern.
says, or sorry, Miniltirin. He turns over towards you and he says, I know that this town is somewhat lacking and is just a collection of tents right now, but I've seen some of the people throughout here, and seen a skilled cobbler, perhaps a few good cooks. It might be time to start rebuilding.
I think so. Where
What do
should
you
we
say?
begin?
He turns over towards you, Ivan. Oh, but Ivan's
Ivan?
comatose.
Ivan
No!
has 1,000-mile stare.
The dwarf drank too
Sorry,
much.
guys, would you ask me?
He asked you what you thought would be a good idea to do with the city.
In terms of building it?
He said there's a cobbler, some cooks.
Neither of which are capable of building anything
Seems
except
most
a nice
of the
pair
people
of shoes
here,
and some good food.
most
I mean-
of the people here are they're simple folk, but could put them to work. I'm sure. Just don't know where to start. What do you think?
We begin with the keep, or
The
The
tabletop
city.
solution.
to begin with the
Um,
city.
Like skill wise, I'm proficient with smith tools,
Hmm.
but would Ivan just like background knowledge know enough like general craftsmanship to like start helping building buildings and things like that?
Oh, you could assist, but you're not a carpenter, nor are you a stone worker. You think of your brother for a brief moment and all of his amazing skill with those tools, and you know that you're outclassed horribly, and that you could maybe lend a hand, but you're gonna need some guidance.
Well, I can train someone to be a decent leather worker, but other than that, I can build a fence.
don't cut yourself short. You could additionally train the town's guard. Did say you were rather good at fighting, and I would have to concur.
A good idea.
I'll skip the rock climbing lessons.
You have the ear of the people. I think if you were to gather some of the men here to be a militia, then they would happily follow you, Dudarin.
Well, first order, we will get some men, at least in the beginnings of training, and start giving some people houses.
Very good. I shall send away for weapons then.
Thank you.
So we have a
And the-
militia to create, cave to barricade off. What else?
And houses to begin building.
If I'm to send out my riders, I'd rather have them come back with everything all at once than slowly over time. I have a
Have
bad
they-
feeling about the cold that persists. This is unnatural. Spring should be here.
Yeah, that is a concern. But thankfully, if the warmth in the city, has anyone started to farm or hunt?
There's no way to farm right now. Most of the food that we've managed to gather has been from hunting in the Elfwood Forest, and we have lost a few to that. Speaking of which, Dwarf, what was your name again?
I am Ivan.
Ivan. It's good to meet you. I must ask, you're clearly a holy man. Have the gods spoken to you of why it is the cold is still here?
No. I do not know why it is still cold, and as everyone seems to think it should no longer be. Seasons act strangely in this land.
At that, he kind of looks over with a concerned look towards Meneltirin.
I will explain when we have a longer chance to. Although
Perhaps
I will,
that's not a bad idea. The people might be worrisome to be away from their hero for so long.
indeed.
Come, let's go back then. I'll send up my riders, and you can speak to the people when you think it necessary to summon up a militia.
Well, if we aren't in the place to grow or hunt for the entirety of our food, we need to establish trade routes as well.
That'll be difficult. Arbison isn't far, but it's difficult to get there some days.
We've noticed. Maybe we could try and convince someone in Citadel to aid us.
I hate to tell you this, but Citadel doesn't make any response to anybody unless a lands meet is called. It's just
A
how
lands
things are
meet?
done in Freehold. Yes, if ever the great cities are needed to get together, Citadel is where they gather, and a large fortress answers no calls unless one of these meetings is happening.
I don't know where you would be sending your riders, but let's see. I gotta look at the map for the names of the towns.
I'm gonna send them south, and they'll continue going as far as they need to get their supplies. Probably as far
Okay.
as Andwall.
Okay, well, don't know many people in the south, so never mind.
Well,
I guess that'll have to be it for now. Well,
it's probably for the best.
In the event that we, like I said, disappear for some time, how should we tell the populace of this? Randall Cheern looks around to everybody.
Dude, Aaron has a very, hard look on his face.
First time they saw you, you were chasing down a imposter, demonic creature of some sort. Always just say you were out battling evil around the town.
Seems like a good enough cover.
I feel like they would believe it.
And while we're out, we can... Well,
We can do nothing, Darren.
it's true. I thought about a different kind of out for a moment. I don't want to lie to them that much, but it's...
No, but
It's the only option.
Is necessary. They will not fully grasp.
I know
That'll
of the
have to
Great
be...
Soul's legend from my studies, but I doubt it's something the common man will have any idea of. Could try and explain it to them if you wish.
Perhaps we can wait for some time before we do that. Or at least until things settle into a more, I don't know, kind of busy mood.
Perhaps we could construct a school. I'm probably getting ahead of myself.
Perhaps a little bit, but
houses first.
not a terrible idea.
If there's someone in the town that is willing to teach in their spare time, I will do what I can to repay them.
Fair enough. Come, let us get back to the feast.
I'll head back to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody
I will
makes
follow.
their way back, and soon you meld back into the crowd, having a long evening of food and drink, unless you have something that you want to do otherwise.
I do not drink or eat anything because I can't take off my mask.
Just awkwardly sit by everybody.
Maybe some,
Wanted to put that there for visual effect, just theater of the mind for everybody.
maybe some racial tolerance classes.
Yeah, that could be a thing to work into the curriculum.
We'll see.
Hashtag not all high elves.
Hashtag Alliance.
Okay. And with that, everybody soon gets a long rest at the city, and it's slightly early, but I think given circumstance, we will end it there.
Die.
Fuck.
Oh. Thanks for the nice send off.
I did actually almost cry.
I was choked up a little bit when you guys were dealing with it.
I mean, how many sessions have we had? That's been like months.
That's been a lot.
Yeah, you've been at it for like 12 or something.
What session are we on?
I think you just did 16.
16. Whoa.
So, I mean, 4 months of like real time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. 16. Damn.
Happens. One by one, the flies drop until Darren is all that remains. And the way things are going, I don't know if he's gonna be around for very long either.
Don't worry, you got reinforcements coming next week.
Darren has to be a little more careful now. He has people to lead. He's not just looking out for himself and his close friends. He's looking out for an entire town.
Just turn to Jack. Does anybody here know how to fix an arm?
Do we have any specialized arm fixers?
Said
in this,
shoot people. Any arm people? Well, I have to say, I thought that was a pretty intense and awesome session, despite all the stuff that happened. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Players did awesome. I think there were a couple audience members here and there. You guys, thanks for checking it out. And to all the patrons, you guys, are the reason we get to do this. Talk some random stuff. You're welcome to hang around if you so choose, and we'll see you next time.
Honestly, speechless.